The root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
On the issue of Charlottesville, where people were peacefully protesting the need for racial justice, where a young woman was killed, and on the other side there were neo-Nazis carrying tiki torches, shouting racial epithets, anti-Semitic slurs, and Donald Trump, when asked about it, said there were fine people on both sides.
Liar.
You know, I think this is one of the things that makes people dislike the media so much in this country, Susan, is that you selectively edit, just like Senator Harris did, comments that President Trump and I and others on our side of the aisle make. I mean, Senator Harris conveniently omitted, after the president made comments about people on either side of the debate over monuments, he condemned the KKK, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists, and has done so repeatedly. You're concerned that he doesn't condemn neo-Nazis. President Trump has Jewish grandchildren. His daughter and son-in-law are Jewish. This is a president who respects and cherishes all of the American people.
Man, that debate last night felt good. It felt good to listen to Vice President Pence give some factually based information that gave the American people some receipts, is the word that all the kids are using today. Some facts, some reality about what this administration has done for the American people in order to make sure that we can still be a country by the American people. Kamala Harris, in my opinion, last night really laid an egg, and I think mostly because the entirety of what she presented last night was a gross, just detesting of Donald Trump and everything his administration stands for. Now, that's very relatable to many people who were watching. I said this last night on the post-debate show that Tony Colombo held. And Katie, I gave you a little bit of credit for this. If you were actually a lot of credit, I said you're the one who said this, and I thought it was smart, so I repeated it. If you love Kamala Harris, you probably thought she nailed it last night. Tim Jones asked me, what are the people who are going to say that Kamala Harris blew this out of the water? What are those people going to say to prove that she in fact blew it out of the water? And I said, stop acting like there's any factual piece of information where those folks are going to go, yes, at that point, that's where she nailed it. Because they don't peddle in facts, they peddle in emotion. And I'm not saying peddling in emotion is bad, because there are some political discussions that I will have that get me pretty emotional. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We should care. But the problem is that there can't be an absence of fact. There has to be a little bit of both, right? And when you ask people if Kamala did well and they loved it, there's two sides out there about Kamala's performance. And we heard Donald Brazil last night talking about her word, not mine. Miss Brazil's word was scowl. And I am using her word, not mine, because I want to make that very clear. I do not like Kamala's presentation. I do not like the way that she puts herself out there. It's incredibly condescending. And if you go back and roll the tape on the day before Joe Biden made the announcement of who his vice presidential candidate was going to be, I said, Kamala Harris. I predicted it only because the universe hates me and I cannot stand watching this woman make her presentation. There is so much condescension in the way that she presents her information. Like, even when it's possible that I could, feel like, okay, I see where you're going with this, because I appreciate and respect a well-presented point, even when I don't agree with it. I'm a nerd in this stuff. So if I'm seeing somebody walk into a point, I appreciate that and I can respect that. I can't handle Kamala Harris. So I'm just throwing that out there at the very beginning of my show so that you understand very clearly that I am very predisposed to not being a fan. Last night reinforced every reason why I am not a fan of hers, because there was very little substance to it, and there was so much like just like assumed righteous indignation with the way she presents herself. And I said this last night with Tony Colombo and Tim Jones and Gabe Pfeiffer, who were doing the post debate show, which you should listen to, folks. If you can listen to the debates on 97.1 and stick around and hear Tony and the great conversation that they have. If you are somebody who watched that and you thought that it was about time that the Pence-Trump administration, Trump-Pence last night, maybe Pence-Trump, whatever, if you thought that they needed a national talking to, a little bit of a public display of discipline, the one that happens in the aisles in Walmart when you've decided that your kid needs to be set straight and you don't care who sees because you need to teach your kid a public lesson, one of those. And then as that's happening, there are people who walk by and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this woman is doing that to her child. I can't believe she's doing this in public. There are other parents who walk by and go, you go, girl. That's what you need to be doing, because this is how you discipline your kids. If you are the type of person who believes that the Trump administration needs the public talking to, Kamala Harris was your girl last night. She was the one who made you feel, yes, somebody's saying it and throwing it right at their face and giving them the look and giving them the what for. And I'm so excited and happy to see it. However, if you are the type of person who doesn't like grown people,
grown butt people,
it doesn't have the same gravitas,
yeah.
right?
No?
Like
Okay.
sometimes you can substitute words, and I almost did. I'm like, well, that sounds ridiculous. If you don't want to see grown butt people screaming at each other or chastising each other in public in the Walmart aisles, then it made you so incredibly uncomfortable to watch it. As a grown person, you know what it's like to be on the receiving end of that kind of condescending attitude. Whether it's somebody you've worked with, whether it's that family member, whether that's in-law family member, whether it's an old friend that you've just kicked to the curb. We all know what it's like to be with somebody, around somebody, or talk to by somebody who gives you the facial expression that says, like, this is just, I'm telling everybody in the world how disgusted I am with you right now. That it didn't land. So who are you? Which mom are you? Which dad are you walking through Walmart right now? Did the kid deserve it? And is Mike Pence the kid in the aisle that, that needs to have the talking to? It made me incredibly uncomfortable. Again, predisposed to the fact that I am not a fan of Kamala Harris's. I don't think she has a record to run on. I don't think she has the experience to put herself out there as a vice presidential candidate, especially for the person on the top of the ticket, which, in case you forgot, is Joe Biden. It's not Kamala Harris. And I'm mostly talking to Kamala Harris in that sentence. If you were looking at Joe Biden, he's already said, I'm not going to run for a next term. And there's a significant percentage of American people who don't think he's going to finish the first term. Kamala Harris matters. And she is not cut out for the job. And Mike Pence steamrolled her last night. Ryan, what'd you think?
I think to reference the brilliant Katie Fitzpatrick, if you're already in the Kamala camp, you didn't get hurt last night. And there's a whole lot of people that are already in that camp, and she did fine with those people. She did alienate, and this is why I think she lost the debate. She alienated the far left by not supporting far left policies, which Pence pushed her on quite a bit and did very well at that. And then she lost the middle ground for the reasons that you're talking about. She was condescending. She didn't really have a whole lot of policy that she talked about. I remember when they asked her what you would do different on coronavirus, and she said nothing. Like, there are things that she could have done way better to grab those people in the middle, and I don't think she did.
Katie, what about you? I stole your thunder a little bit.
No, not at all. I think we got exactly what we anticipated and what we wanted. And most importantly, what we needed, which was a calm discourse between two people. We said this last night. This brought people back to like old school debates, old school politicking, because it wasn't so bombastic and crazy and wild that you got to understand a little bit of policy, although there was some deflection. And you got to understand a little bit more of the President Trump, and also Vice President Biden. And so that was the most important takeaway. It's not really necessarily Kamala or Pence and what they truly believe in, but it's how much do they actually back the people that they're on the ticket with.
Yeah. So we've said before, and I said this after the first debate, that the vice presidential debate is really a nothing burger. I kind of changed my tune on that after I just sat in the aftermath of the first debate. Oh, and then in the middle of those two, the president got coronavirus, went to the hospital, no big deal. So we got to the point where we are now at the vice presidential debate, and people are craving like a moment of maturity and a collected presentation of actual information. And I said this about the first debate. I'm going to say it about this debate last night. The first debate did nothing for the American people. It was a self-serving argument where nobody wanted to see mom and dad fight on the stage like that in front of everybody. If you're going to have a conversation that's going to have some sort of culminating solution, okay, let's do it. But it was just the nasty fight. The nasty fight that happens before you have the subsequent fight where you realize you were both a little bit ridiculous, and now you need to come out and get some substance because you cannot afford to not move on. You've got to figure this out. You've got to move on. This was kind of the substantive, we got to move on fight. We've got to come to a solution here, and we've got to do what's best for the family. And I say that in the essence that Mike Pence made the case for the Trump administration, what they've been able to accomplish, what they continue to want to accomplish, and who the center of their focus is. It's you. You are at the epicenter of what the Trump administration wants to achieve. And I know that there's an entire group of NPR listeners out there that would hear that and think that I am the biggest moron to ever walk the face of the planet, because they think that everything Donald Trump does is for Donald Trump. There is not a modicum of the entirety of Donald Trump's being that has ever thought about somebody other than himself. But that's not true. That's not real. And when you listen to Mike Pence talk about what has been accomplished, and you look at what the president's actions as the president of the United States and this administration, what they have done, it's obviously not true. But you'd have to have a messenger out there that would tell you. You would have to have, I don't know, a reporter who would go out there and want to actually expose the actual truth to you, and forget about if that might persuade someone to even consider the possibility that Donald Trump isn't the worst person walking the face of the earth right now. When I look, I mean, I have never been so convinced, anecdotally, of course, 100%. But when I look through my Twitter and it's like, hashtag suggested for you. Every single one is hateful to Donald Trump or supporting Joe Biden. And I'm like, you know me. You know where I am on Twitter. You know who I follow on Twitter. It is so grossly biased and slanted. How is this a fair fight? Who do the American people look to right now to referee this fight? Because the ref is on the other side, and you know it, and I know it, and there's not much that we can do about it. Here's what you've got to do. You've got to take it upon yourself. And you might think, wow, I'm just one person. But It's either you do something or nobody does something. And if you think of something and the person in the car next to you thinks of something, I heard someone tell me the other day that somebody was blaring our show in the Walmart parking lot. That was super cool. Keep doing that. Maybe we could start a Walmart parking lot listening party, socially distance, and leave a space in between each other. Just turn the show on. Put a sign in your yard. Talk to somebody in your neighborhood who is disenchanted. Maybe don't go to the person who's got the Biden-Harris sign in their yard, but maybe go to the person who you can talk to and just say, what do you think about all this? And expose them to the possibility that somebody who they like and respect, you, could support this president. But tell them why, because nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is going to convey the message to the American people about what this president has done for this country. And the entire country is at stake. In 27 days or something? The entire country, the direction of the country is at stake right now. And if you're not doing something, anything to try to impact one person, 5 people, then you need to consider what you could be doing. Because this media is the most irresponsible collection of individuals that I've ever seen or that I've ever heard of. It's propaganda everywhere you go, and I am so disgusted by it. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get more reaction on the debate last night. Also, they want to make the next debate virtual. The president has said, nope, not doing it. And now they're talking about moving it. And since I saw last, maybe they've made another decision. I don't know. What's going to happen to the next debate? What should the president do? We'll discuss that as well. And Dinesh D'Souza at 12:40. Can't wait to have that discussion. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I didn't feel so well, so I searched my symptoms on Google, and now I'm being followed by uncomfortable ads. I hate feeling like my personal data is being bought and sold. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy with DuckDuckGo.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. Seminar now online live with America's hypnotist Mark Patrick. Live online seminar for the greater St. Louis area will be held live Saturday, October 17th. Register now, only $49.99 guaranteed at markpatrickseminars.com.
AirComfortService.com's the website, and you can give them a call, and 314-513-0091. That's a number that while you're sitting here listening to me right now and you don't need service on your furnace, it's a good number to put in your phone for when you do, because let's face it, it's early October, and oh my gosh, it's almost mid-October, and it's going to get cold. And it's going to get cold fast. And when your furnace isn't working right, you need someone to call who you can trust, who's not going to take advantage of you, who's been doing this for over 50 years in the bi-state region. Air Comfort Service is there to help you, and they're very good at what they do. Right now, if you do know that you're going to need a new furnace, or if you know that you want to have them come out and take a look at it, maybe do a tune-up, you can call 314-513-0091, and there is 0% financing for up to 72 months, and Carrier Cool Cash rebates up to $1,650 back right now. Reach out to Air Comfort Service and find out how they can get you set up with everything you need. Check your maintenance, get a tune-up on your furnace, and stay comfortable with Air Comfort Service. Get in your comfort zone with Air Comfort Service. Call 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Maybe you've noticed your friend sharing photos of what looks like fried food, but they're bragging about how healthy they are. They're right. It's the latest in cooking innovation, and Lowe's has Samsung slide-in ranges with air fry to help you get in on the trend. Air fry uses little to no oil, giving you the taste of your favorite fried foods. Plus, the air fry tray is included, so you can start cooking from the get-go. Order yours today via our app, online, or in-store, and get free delivery. Bring home innovation this fall with Lowe's. Free local delivery applies to appliances $396 or more, U.S. only.
How can Staples help you get back to business?
By printing you new signs for the times.
Staples can help prepare your business for the new normal with everything from in-store signage to health essentials like masks and hand sanitizer, and all at amazing prices.
And this week at Staples, get $15 off posters or yard signs when you spend $75 or more.
Save big this week at Staples.
Ends 10/31. Exclusions apply. Limit one offer per customer. See store associate or visit staples.com/signage for details.
With all the time over the last several months that you have been home, you've probably been cleaning out some old drawers. And I know you've got that jewelry, that old jewelry, watches, collectibles laying around, maybe some broken jewelry. And it's gold, but or silver, and you aren't going to wear it anymore. It's valuable still, isn't it? I want you to get in touch with National Rarities. National Rarities works all over the country, but they're based right here in St. Louis. That's why I want you to reach out to them at 888-787-1112. That's 888-787-1112, and get some dollars for the value of those things that you don't need anymore, but still hold a little bit of money value. If you have stuff collecting dust around the house or things that don't have any meaning to you anymore, take it over to National Rarities and see what it's worth. You can go make an appointment and meet in person. Have them look over your item. They are experts at so many different things, and you're going to get top dollar. Plus, if you mention my name, Annie, they're going to give you 10% more for your items. Gold, platinum, sterling, silver, diamonds, jewelry, watches, coins, currency, firearms, artwork and paintings, autographs, antique toys, and more. 888-787-1112. Set up an appointment. Mention my name when you do. NationalRarities.com.
If you're one of the many working from home these days or running your business remotely, you need a strong technology company that can handle any cloud, VoIP, Wi-Fi, or fiber needs. Look no further than Arcadia Valley Communications. They've got 50 years combined experience and prices that smoke the competition. Get your company connected by calling Ron Elkins at 314-924-3160 for a free technology assessment for your home or business. Find out what Arcadia can do for you. Visit them online at arcadiavalleycommunications.com.
Fall is here. Before you start that cozy fireplace, you need to get it swept by English Sweep. We keep fire in its place and fix leaky chimneys. Call English Sweep, the home of Missouri's only certified master chimney sweep. Call 636-225-3340. Then you can start making warm memories around your fireplace. Serving the St. Louis area for over 40 years. English Sweep, 636-225-3340. That's 636-225-3340.
If it's happening here. In the world, the country, and the community. St. Louis's own 97.1 FM Talk.
Action is made.
Could you just give us a sense? I mean, the president pulled away. Mnuchin seems eager to do something. I mean, give us your prospects here of where you think things are, given your talks with Mnuchin and the president and McConnell's, I guess, hesitancy to or disagreement about the larger package. Could you just give us what your prospects are at this moment?
Well, I don't know what the prospects are when we hear people saying I'm young and I'm a perfect specimen, instead of addressing the fact that 50,000 people were infected, reported to be infected yesterday. Nearly 1,000 people died. What are we talking about here? Tomorrow, by the way, come here tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the 25th Amendment, but not to take attention away from the subject we have now.
So Nancy Pelosi's invoking the discussion once again of the 25th Amendment. You've got to be kidding me. I think that this is a big mistake on her part. And to me, when Donald Trump said, deals off, we're not getting anything done, her response is, okay, well, we'll 25th Amendment you. That to me makes me feel more than I did before. Like Donald Trump made the right move in saying that. And he has tweeted out since then, you send me a standalone bill for $1,200 stimulus checks that go straight to the American people, I will sign it immediately. So he's put that out there. And so if you're looking at that, you'd obviously have to say, well, that seems easy. Put together one bill. Like the American people hear that and go, just do it. Just put together a standalone bill and send it to the president and boom, it's done. But it's not that easy, because that would give Trump the win. So Nancy Pelosi's not going to do that. So they go back and forth and they fight. And now Nancy Pelosi is talking about removing him from office. Fox News report here, the 25th Amendment allows for the vice president to become acting president if it is determined that the president, quote, is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, end quote. And so she's going to invoke this and like discussion and put it out on the table. This is one of the original. I'm so glad that we're going to have Dinesh D'Souza on here in just a minute. I'm so glad that we're going to be talking with him because he came out with Death of a Nation, which is an amazing movie. Ryan, you've seen Death of a Nation because I was talking about it a lot and then you went and watched it, right? You liked it?
Just recently I watched it. It was awesome.
Yeah, go watch it. He's got a new movie coming out. I think it's called Trump Card, and I think it's coming out the 10th. So I think, or maybe tomorrow. We'll get those details from Dinesh himself here in about 12 minutes. But the idea that from the jump, the second that it was determined that Donald Trump was going to become the president of the United States, they went in hard on how they were going to undo that shocking revelation in their lives. And the 25th Amendment was one of them. They tried to use his unsavory character as part of that, like his past. Like it was never a problem when they were accepting those fat checks from him that he was donating to both Republicans and Democrats. They didn't care then that he lived a playboy lifestyle of a real estate tycoon in New York City. That was fine then because he was useful to them. Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that utterly disgusting that it's okay to act a certain way when you're useful, but when the tables turns and you're no longer a Democrat, that all of a sudden all of these things come into question. You can't be a Republican and have a single flaw to your character because you're a Christian. That's the base level caricature of what Republicans are, and it's incredibly wrong, both because I know a lot of Republicans who aren't faith-based people, and I know a lot of faith-based people who also aren't perfect. In fact, 100%, batting 1,000 in that category. The 25th Amendment was one of them, and then impeachment was going to be one of them with the Russia collusion story, which might have just been all made up. Isn't that insane? Like, I feel like this is like gaslighting 101. Here's all this information, and I'm sitting here going, like, jaw drop, like, looking to make eye contact with somebody, like, like, don't you see what's going on here? This is insane. And everyone's like, Mike Pence had a fly on his head, and that's really amazing. It's the sign of the beast. And I'm like, you've got to be friggin' kidding me right now. You're blowing my mind with how we're not paying attention to the most important things. And it's what gaslighting is. I'm the one who feels like I'm crazy. And I'm looking at all of this stuff and I'm saying, why are we not paying more attention to it? That's why at 1:40, we're going to have George Papadopoulos on, who actually, I think, spent 2 days in jail because of the whole Russia collusion story. And if you follow him on Twitter, you see him saying all the time, like, I live this. He's got a book out where he explains it. And there's a lot of what took place in the Russia collusion story that really started with George Papadopoulos. So we're going to talk to him at 1:40 and kind of get the lowdown there. I mean, if there was a story that needed to be covered right now that's not being covered right now, Ryan, what's that story for you?
You already said it. There's no story that makes me madder that it's not getting more attention than this bombshell thing that Hillary Clinton apparently not only knew everything that was going on, but so did other members of government, and they're sweeping it under the rug, and they're either not doing anything about it or they're actively involved in creating a hoax, a collusion hoax. And I don't even necessarily want justice in the sense that we're lock her up and throw her in jail. If that happens, that's fine. If that's what needs to happen, I want the media to cover it. I just want people to know that it happened. That's the miscarriage of justice that drives me the craziest, I think.
Katie, when you're watching the news every day, all day, because that's just kind of how the world works for us in this business. When you're watching the news and you're seeing these stories come out, and then you're watching the converse of what is being discussed on social media, or when you're hanging out with your friends, how much of what is out there, because you know the stories that aren't really being reported on. You know the stuff that is coming out. We see the John Solomon reports. We see the Greg Jarrett reports. We watch, Fox News, and you see those evening shows, and they do like the nighttime opinion shows. They do what the rest of the media does, which is they give their version, their opinion, their perspective on a set of facts that is very, very unsavory to the mainstream media and the Democratic left. But at least you get an alternative view. Has it penetrated?
No.
The other side? Like, would this blow their minds if they found out this was really true?
You know what? I think it's because nobody is really taking the time to explain it to a lot of people, because it is such an intricate web that we have to try and figure out when it comes to the Russia probe and to Hillary Clinton and her part to play with this. I think that no one is really explaining what's going on, and it goes back to what you both just highlighted. We need somebody in the media to explain what's happening and to expose people that are getting their news from Facebook or getting their news from Twitter, who have no idea all of the extra shenanigans that are going on, because they're so consumed with the debate and they're so consumed with the debate fly on Pence's head that they don't understand that there's something very intense and very insidious. There's something crazy going on within our own government. But I mean, even me, I have a really hard time trying to put all of the puzzle pieces together when it comes down to something like this. Luckily enough, I am listening to both of you. We are having experts on the show. I am listening to these late night talk shows discuss these things in great detail, but we just don't have a media that wants to cover any of that. And it's almost like, wasn't that the whole point of the Russia probe, is to distract and deflect and distract and deflect?
Russia wanted to infiltrate and undermine our system of democracy, like what we actually got them on when it was December of 2016, I believe, when the intelligence community came out and said that they got like 14 people or something like that. And the whole purpose was, they said it didn't affect any vote. They cannot prove that anything that was done actually changed anybody's vote, but that the intent of what Russia was actually doing, which they've been doing for a long, long time, the intent was to undermine democracy. They're not for Democrats. They're not for Republicans. They're against America. And then the Democrats are spoon feeding this bull crap to them to make sure to us to make sure that we buy into this idea that our election is being undermined, and the Democrats are helping. Dare I say, if this story that is coming to light right now is proven to be true, it's treasonous, folks. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to be shocking and bombastic. But if what is being suggested, and here's what it is, folks, I'll lay it out for you. In 2016, in July of 2016, before the election happened, the FBI was tipped off, the CIA was tipped off that Hillary Clinton was putting together an idea to create a scandal for the Trump campaign. And that scandal was that they were partnering with Russia to affect the outcome of the election for the purpose of distracting from her email server campaign. In July of 2016, the CIA knew it, the FBI knew it. John Brennan of the CIA briefed Barack Obama on it. In July of 2016, we have John Brennan's handwritten notes from an oral conversation with the President of the United States on this issue. There is a high threshold of what information needs to be put in line in order to get a face-to-face briefing with the President of the United States. And this met that threshold. And then it was referred to the FBI. And then the same team that was investigating the email server scandal for Hillary Clinton became the team that investigated the Trump campaign for Russia collusion. And they picked one and they buried the other. And it's 2020. It's October of 2020. And we're still talking about this crap. And if it's in fact true, does anybody even care? That is a travesty that this isn't front and center on. Like, this is what journalists should live for, to uncover this truth, to pursue the reality here and break the biggest scandal in American history. I am not exaggerating, folks. We're going to talk with Dinesh D'Souza here in a second. We're going to talk with George Papadopoulos here in an hour. We're going to get to the bottom of what we know right now, and we're going to talk about it here. And Katie, to your point, your friends, the people in your circle, they get their information on Facebook. You want to know why I work my tail off on building social media brands? Because we're 3 millennials here talking about truth and facts. And if we can be present in those places, maybe we can make an impact in those places in ways that other people can't. So if you are not connected with us on Facebook right now, please do. And please go and share our Facebook Live, because you might expose somebody who doesn't get their news from anywhere but Facebook to these young folks. I'm still young, right? That still counts.
You young. You
Ryan,
cute.
You cute. You don't need to do that.
You're cool.
Ryan is our resident elderly person here, just to even out the median age here. But if you were to go on there and share our Facebook page, or if you were to go subscribe to the Annie Fry YouTube page and share the YouTube link, help us get in front of people who might not be tuning into what they think that conservative talk radio is. Because we can talk to them, they can talk to us, they can call us and tell us we're pieces of crap. I'll have that discussion. I would happily have that discussion. But that's why we need to make this show more broad than just the radio. That's why I work so hard on social media and try to grow this family. And for every single one of you that have already joined us, liked us, subscribed to us, I am so incredibly grateful, because we have to do this together. Let's take a quick break. Dinesh D'Souza is going to be back, and he's going to tell us about his new movie that's out that I cannot wait to see. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating over 50 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
I'm Thomas Helbig, founder of the Retirement Advisory Group. When I meet my clients for the first time, many of them have worked over 90,000 hours and have built up a life savings. Their question is, what can I do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? Not only do we set up a strategy to protect your retirement nest egg from market losses, but we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money. You've earned it, and it's my job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call me now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review, and you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. This book covers everything I teach in my live educational events. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
Right now at Cassens Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, you can participate in several different awesome savings events. First of all, the Chrysler Pacifica family pricing event. Super excited about that one. For anybody out there who's been looking for a family vehicle, I cannot recommend the Chrysler Pacifica enough. My Cassens Chrysler Pacifica has suited my family's needs so well. And I'll tell you what, everybody who we take around, whether it's kids, millennial adults my age who are toting kids around, they all get in and they go, yep, this is why people say they want minivans. It turns you because it's so great. It's so convenient. It's so smooth. The gas mileage is fantastic. And folks, it's a nice, nice ride. As well as the grandparents of my kids. My parents' generation really love the Pacifica because it's comfortable. It's convenient. It's easy to get in and out of. And it can move a lot of stuff and a lot of people. Cassens Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has that Chrysler Pacifica family pricing right now, including Jeep Adventure Days with great pricing on Jeeps, and Dodge Power Dollars and Ram Power Dollars. If you're looking for a great vehicle at a great value, go to Cassens right now, online at cassenscan.com.
If you are looking for a home warranty, please check out my friends at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. You know, that maintenance part of their title is extremely important. Most home warranty companies out there want to deny your claim due to lack of maintenance. They claim you haven't been taking care of your equipment over time, so they don't have to help you out. Well, at Upkeep, they completely eliminate that worry by sending their own technicians out to your home 4 times a year to do the general maintenance for you. And if you ever need service done, they will either repair or replace your equipment, and that work is also being done by an Upkeep employee. It's not a third-party contractor trying to upsell you. Their plans are extremely affordable. You can even divide your payments up over the 12 months of the year. And when you use code DGS, you get $100 off your service. To check out all of their different home warranty plans, go to their website, upkeepstl.com. That's upkeepstl.com.
Attention St. Louis homeowners. Are you looking to sell your house without all the stress?
Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can buy your house cash and close on your timeline. No commissions, no repairs, no appraisals, no showings, no headache. Call Chris now, 314-782-7000, or go online to chrisbuysHomesSTL.com to get a free no-obligation cash offer for your house. Behind on payments? The tenant stopped paying the rent? The house needs too many repairs? Not a problem. Chris buys houses in any condition and deals with any situation. There's a reason why Chris Buys Homes is the most trusted home buyer in St. Louis. Go online to get your offer today. chrisbuysHomesSTL.com or call 314-782-7000. That's 314-782-7000.
Critical thinking for critical times. The free exchange of ideas. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Download the radio.com app and stream the station wherever you go.
Yeah, it's been a bumpy road. Roller coasters high and low.
It is incontrovertible that the Russians interfered in the 2016 presidential election on behalf of Donald Trump. And it is my view that their assistance really helped get Donald Trump over the finish line in terms of the Electoral College victory. And so therefore, what John Ratcliffe is doing is really a great disservice, not just to the women and men of the intelligence community who work around the globe 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to keep this country safe. It's a disservice to the American people, and he should be ashamed, and it's a disgrace. And I can't understand how he is allowed to continue in that position.
So $30 million to make this happen. That's something. That is really something to get through this process. $30 million is what the Mueller probe cost. And right now we hear John Brennan talking about how we need to rectify the 2016 election. Well, there's one thing that I learned watching Death of a Nation. No, that's not true. There were a billion things that I learned watching Death of a Nation by Dinesh D'Souza. So much so that I watched it once and then I was like, I need to watch this again and take notes because I had so many questions from the first. And then I watched it again and I just was writing things down. It was such an amazing film when Death of a Nation came out, and now there's a new movie out with Dinesh D'Souza, and I'm clearing my schedule and I cannot wait to watch it. And we've got Dinesh D'Souza on the show with us right now. Dinesh, so great to have you on the show with us right now. I cannot wait to take in Trump Card. What are the American people going to be able to see when they watch this latest release of yours?
Well, I think it's, I believe it's my best film yet. It's the fifth of my political documentaries, and it takes on a huge subject, which is socialism. It explores how this crazy idea that collapsed in the last century after failing in 25 different countries, how it's magically and mysteriously made a comeback in the United States. And then it looks at the new type of socialism the left is pushing in this country. It explores who's behind it, why it's evil, and finally how we can stop it.
Well, what is the new type of socialism, Dinesh?
Well, the first thing that the left says is that they don't want the authoritarian socialism of Lenin and Mao and Stalin. They support democratic socialism. So their first point is that socialism is given a sort of moral credibility through popular consent. A second point they make is that they are following the model not of Cuba or even Venezuela, but of Scandinavia. And they say, look, it's not horrible to live in Scandinavia, so what can be wrong with copying the model that seemingly works in places like Denmark and Norway? And third, and perhaps most importantly, while socialism for Marx was about the working class, it was a class divide. For the left today, it is not just a class divide, but a race divide and a gender divide and a divide between straights and gays and legals and illegals. So you can see that the left is dividing America many different ways. It's socialism married to identity politics. And my term for this is identity socialism.
Dinesh, I think socialism. So I'm in my mid 30s. I'm in the old. I technically am a millennial, but there's kind of if you split the millennials in half, there's some of us who grew up playing outside, and there's some of us who never have grown up without the internet. But socialism seems to me to be kind of a trendy thing among younger folks. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems as though in America we have it so good that we have the luxury of dabbling in socialism. And this has been created by a capitalistic society that allows us the opportunity to even consider socialism. But these young folks, I don't think, really understand at all what socialism would do to the United States of America. How close are we to an actual socialistic society? And how misinformed do you think many people are in what that actually means?
Well, young people benefit enormously from this explosion of not only wealth, but new products created by technological capitalism. So if you were to say to these same young people, listen, you're talking about socialism and advocating it, but how about you give up your iPhone or stop using GPS or don't stay at an Airbnb or don't use Uber? They would look at you as if you were out of your mind, because to them, they take all of that for granted. And then on top of that, they are tempted by the appeal of, hey, how about I get some free college too, and free healthcare, and $2,000 a month, even if I decide to stay at home in my mom's basement, and then free retirement. So they're tempted to enjoy the benefits of capitalism and at the same time look to socialism to give them added senses of security.
We're speaking with Dinesh D'Souza, whose new movie is Trump Card. Dinesh, I understand that Trump would be kind of the stop to this progressive move towards socialism. What can he do, or what can Republicans do to reverse what's already been, moved down that road?
In the movie, we treat Trump in two separate capacities. He is the quintessential capitalist. Remember, for most of his career, he wasn't a politician. He was a builder. And you can kind of see the difference between capitalism and socialism by contrasting Trump with, say, some sort of Antifa guy. So Trump is a guy who puts things up. He put up the Woolman Rink. He put up the Trump Tower. He builds resorts. He builds casinos. And these Antifa guys break things down. They topple monuments. They break windows. They smash people's cars. They set things on fire. So socialism is really about destruction, while capitalism is about innovation and risk and building new things. Obviously, Trump is also, and this is our main theme in the movie, the political general in the fight against socialism. And I think he's actually doing that quite effectively. He's been very successful in his first term in doing that. I think this is a little bit why the left is so determined to get rid of him.
So let me ask you this. I mean, if what I've seen you lay out the case so much about how detrimental socialism has been in other places and how detrimental it would be to the United States of America. You've got a book out, United States of Socialism, Who's Behind It, Why It's Evil, How to Stop It. Pretty straightforward and clear there. And people can take this information in if they want to. But asking somebody who loves socialism to go pick up Dinesh D'Souza's latest book on why socialism is bad, that's a tall order. How unfortunate and how responsible is the media right now in the story selection, the way that they pick and choose what information that the American people are going to have access to? How responsible are they for the direction this country is headed in?
Well, if I were to put it kind of candidly, I would have to say that in this country, we don't have a media anymore in the classic sense of the term. I mean, when we think of a free press, or when the American founders thought of a free press, they thought of an independent group of people who were captive to neither side, who were in a sense removed from government, who would apply a critical lens to government, hold it accountable, be a check on power, give people information, but also give them the tools to be able to make kind of adjudicative judgments about what's true and what's false. So when you say this and you start thinking about it, you ask, well, where do we have that kind of media in America today? And you realize with some dismay that we really don't.
Yeah, it is a tragedy. I want to ask you a bit about the information that has been released by the DNI, the unclassified information that we now have access to. We see the media advocating for Joe Biden and his victory. They hate Donald Trump with the fire of 1,000 suns. And we're starting to see more of what took place in 2016 leading up to that election. How bad do you think that this is going to get, the exposure of this information, and where the state of intelligence is right now in America? Are we in for a really rude awakening about what has taken place so far?
Well, I think we're realizing with some consternation that this was an operation that was instigated by Hillary and directed by Obama. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it, because Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Strzok and Page, these people would never have done all of this on their own independently. They were given the order, and their actions were a coordinated attack. So the question now is, once we find out about this, once we have the goods on it, what do we do about it? And this comes down to a function of nerve. Republicans typically are the party of the nice guys. They don't like to bring out the indictments and the handcuffs. I can see with John Durham, he's probably making extremely careful to cross every T and dot every I. This is, by the way, not the Democrats' approach. Their approach is to indict first and then investigate, then look to put a case together that's going to get the guys you want. So I think that the question now is not a question of information of finding out, but it's a question of what actions are going to be taken. Certainly if Biden wins the election, there will be a supreme effort to cover all this up, to poo-poo it, to get beyond it, and then to pretend like the whole Trump interregnum was just an unfortunate and ugly stain on American politics that should never be allowed to happen again.
Dinesh, I only have about 30 seconds left, but how important to getting to the bottom of this and being able to react is a Trump victory? And all the polls are suggesting it's not in the cards at this point. You think that Donald Trump is going to be able to pull this off?
I do. All my instincts tell me that he will, and therefore I'm a little bit given some pause by the polls. I do think that public support for Trump is very muted because of the strong culture of intimidation that's been erected really by the media in order to make people feel bad about supporting Trump. So that could be a factor. I'm hoping that our movie will be a factor. It tells a very powerful story, and it does it in a very entertaining way. At times the movie is sort of frightening, but it's also in the end an inspirational, moving and motivational story. Now, of course, it's not in theaters. This is a movie coming to video on demand, and you can get it on Apple iTunes or Google or Amazon Prime, any of the normal platforms on which people watch movies, either on their computers or phones, or best on a big screen TV.
Fantastic. And where can they, when does it come out? Is it out yet?
It comes out tomorrow, October 9th. So just go to trumpcardthemovie.com. That's the website. But tomorrow you can go on your TV and just go to Apple iTunes and order the movie and click, and you'll be able to watch it right away.
Thank you so much, Dinesh D'Souza. I am so grateful that you have given a time for us. I am clearing my schedule for tomorrow night. I will be watching this film, and I will be talking to our listeners about it because your research is so spot on. And it's like there's so many people who have these feelings and these emotions based on what they've learned, but you stitch everything together and put together a wonderful case each and every time. So I cannot wait for this next one. And we're grateful that you came on to talk to our listeners today, Dinesh. Great to speak with you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
We do too. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon. Dinesh D'Souza, the man behind the movie Trump Card, coming out tomorrow on streaming. And I want to have like a watch party. I don't know. When I say a Dinesh movie is coming out and I'm clearing my schedule, I mean that, because I will probably watch this film 4 times, 5 times, as many times as I can squeeze in before the election. It is so well done. I cannot stress it enough. Let's take a quick break. We're going to talk with Tyrus when we come back, and George Papadopoulos at 1:40, one of the original people at the beginning of this whole Russia scandal. We'll be back in a minute.
Stop anxiety with hypnosis?
That's right. I'm Mark Patrick, been called America's hypnotist. You know, millions suffer from unwanted anxiety, anxious feelings for no reason, or even panic attacks. I can help. Attend my live online End Anxiety with Hypnosis seminar from the comforts of your own home. Look, I know you've tried everything under the sun, alcohol, pills, programs, and nothing has worked to manage your anxiety. My program is designed to work. My seminar is designed to eliminate unwanted anxiety, stress, negative thinking, increase your energy, and improve your sleep. So join the over 50,000 that attend my programs every year. End Anxiety Seminar, only $49.99, 100% guaranteed. That's right. End your struggles with anxiety or get your money back.
Plain and simple. Join Mark Patrick's anxiety seminar and eliminate unwanted anxiety, stress, negative thinking, even panic attacks. Guaranteed or your money back. The live online seminar will be October 10th for the St. Louis area. You can sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com. Free yourself from the pain and suffering of anxiety. Mark Patrick Seminars.
KFPK FM Florissant, K254CR St. Louis, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group. 97.1 FM Talk, a radio.com station.
The two campaigns agree on something. Lisa Brady, Fox News. There's sudden consensus for a possible postponement of next week's second presidential debate after the commission in charge said it would be changed to a virtual format. The Biden campaign appeared ready to go along, but President Trump rejected the change as an effort to help Biden, also suggesting on Fox Business that it's not necessary.
No, I don't want to do a virtual debate because a virtual debate is a joke. There's no reason. I'm in great shape. I just, I unlike Joe, I don't have the luxury of staying in a basement all day long. I'm running a country.
The commission had cited safety precautions as the main reason for the change as the president continues his COVID recovery. But now both campaigns say they would support moving the second debate to the following week. However, the Biden campaign says then the third debate should be scrapped. The Trump campaign had suggested also moving that to October 29th. 7 people are now charged in Michigan with a suspected plot to target law enforcement and attack the state Capitol building. An announcement made just moments ago after 6 others were charged with plotting to kidnap the governor. The suspects in the Capitol plot are accused of being linked to a militia group threatening to instigate a civil war. Get out while you can. That warning from the mayor of Lake Charles, Louisiana, as Hurricane Delta approaches.
The window of opportunity is today. Thursday, October 8th is your opportunity, if you haven't left town, to get out of town, and you need to take advantage of that option.
Mayor Nick Hunter says even homes that survived Hurricane Laura in August might not be okay this time. Thousands of residents are still out of their homes from that storm. Delta has been strengthening ahead of a possible landfall tomorrow evening. It's a Category 2 storm for now, 105 mile-per-hour winds. America is listening to Fox News.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening, who's able to hear more than what's being said, and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Air Comfort Service heating and cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly to mostly sunny skies on this Thursday afternoon. 82 doing it for the high. That high happening about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, 55. Friday, partly sunny, 82 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, a mix of clouds and sunshine because of some clouds from Hurricane Delta. 79, 80 for the high Saturday and again on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
All right, you hear me talking a lot about Stumpy's, and Stumpy's Spirits Distillery is just a hopping place. Yesterday, when we were in Des Peres, we went to the Rosalita's restaurant out there, just across the parking lot from where my son was having surgery, and I was wearing my Stumpy's t-shirt yesterday. And as I was walking through the restaurant, there was a table full of 3 adults, and they go, "Stumpy's, we love Stumpy's. That's out in our neck of the woods. They're the best." People know Stumpy's. It is growing and growing and growing. And if you are looking for the best distilled whiskey in our area, and I'll put it up against anything, honestly, you need to check out Stumpy's Spirits Distillery right now. I really want to encourage you to go to Stumpy's because the experience is so amazing. They are grain to glass distilled whiskey. The corn fields that you drive through to get to the distillery, that's the corn they're using. And it's a wholly local product, and it is a really amazing product. Check out the Stumpy's honey whiskey. Check out the lemon drop whiskey, great with Diet Sprite. That's our favorite way to drink it. And I'm going to advise you to get the pecan pie, the Stumpy's pecan pie, and put it in a little iced coffee, or as we tried it last night, you can put it in with some pumpkin spice, like milk or even eggnog. Delicious. Stumpy's Spirits Distillery, available at Schnucks, Total Wine and More, Friar Tuck, Dirt Cheap, and other fine market retail locations. Check them out, Stumpy's Spirits Distillery.
Hi, this is Lance Drury. If you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems, you need an attorney. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
Another reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo. What is a cash-out refinance? It's doing a cannonball from your porch.
Watch out!
That new car smell. A new college graduate in the family.
With a BA in business and a minor in medieval Renaissance poetry.
Reading the words, paid in full.
Woohoo! Did it!
At Golden Oak Lending, we speak mortgage and love translating it for our customers. Right now, rates are at a low 2.5%. Call 314-567-GOLD or visit us online at goldenoaklending.com and talk with an experienced local loan officer who will guide you every step of the way. NMLS 114937, 2.5% fixed, 2.655% APR on conventional 15-year mortgage with 30% equity and approved credit. 111 West Port Plaza, St. Louis, Missouri.
You have been hearing the phrase, others can't compete with Complete. So just exactly what does that mean? Well, at Complete Auto Body, they are the leaders in the industry and always strive to be the best. They offer touchless service, and they are proud to offer pickup and delivery to any of their services. Your safety is the utmost importance to them as they sanitize their shop several times a day. They are also offering $50 off any repair, big or small, for any new customers, even if the repair is $49. And then it's free for our first-time customers that require our auto body collision repair and or our mechanical service repairs. Lastly, while we repair your vehicle, don't worry. We have you covered with our loaner cars for only $9.99 per day while the car is in repair. To put it simply, they offer the complete experience. This is where they show you Complete's mission. They are a family and will serve you as if you were one of their own. With 5 convenient locations, others can't compete with Complete. CompleteAB.com.
LakesideRenovationandDesign.com is the website. When you are looking for a transformation inside your home or out, you want to know about Lakeside. They have an 18 months interest-free financing option available for you right now. So when you are looking to get that project done, it makes it a little more affordable. And they also have, let's see here, it's a promotional financing option, which includes 0% interest when your purchase is made with a Marvin Home Design credit card issued by Synchrony Bank. Get that home office finished. Maybe you need to just square off some space in your unfinished basement to make your living situation a little bit more manageable right now. With more people at home, you need your home to be working for you as much as you're working for it. Reach out to Lakeside Renovation and Design and ask them about what they'd advise, because these folks know what they're doing. Stunning transformations. And if you're looking for the exterior, James Hardie Siding, they are the go-to in the region for this beautiful James Hardie Siding redo on your home. If you want to learn more, visit them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com.
97.1 FM Talk, keeping you plugged in while wireless. Download the radio.com app for your phone or listen by smart speaker. Hey Alexa, hey Siri, play 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Because obviously Mike Pence, is a former television commentator, does have a very calm demeanor, but I think a lot of people were noticing some mansplaining going on tonight.
I don't know. I didn't see it that way, George. It didn't come across to me. I do think he should have stopped talking a little quicker, but I don't think he was disrespectful of either woman. I thought he did a really strong job tonight.
Real question here, folks. How does a well-informed man explain something to a woman who may not have had all of her facts straight without being mansplaining to the woke culture? Like, Katie, we watched this whole debate together last night in my basement. Did Mike Pence mansplain to Kamala Harris?
No, he was just explaining. When someone has a question and they ask you the question, you just explain your answer. That's what happened.
Well, I would love to hear what Tyrus thinks about this. Let's get Tyrus in the room.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Tyrus, have you ever been accused of mansplaining?
Constantly.
Are you? Are you mansplaining when you're being accused of it? I mean,
I'm
thought that
doing
was
it right
now. Welcome. That's why we're here. Can we rename this segment "Mansplaining with Tyrus"? Because I'm okay with that. I mean,
yeah, because it's. I don't. All I can say is I don't think there could be a nicer guy to ever be in a combative speech with Mike Pence. So I don't think he literally thanked everyone before he answered. 30 seconds of every question was thanking someone. So I don't really know how he could have been rude or whatever when literally he hit everybody with a compliment. And I think his first four, he even said, "You're entitled to your own opinion." Like, I mean, he was very affable, I think.
Yeah.
Both of them were, honestly. So there were no fireworks, and to still hear that he was mansplaining, I don't know what the brother's got to do, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's my question. How are we supposed to have conversations that are meaningful? Because these debates are supposed to mean something to the American people. The center of these conversations is supposed to be you and me and the person sitting at their desk right now with their earbuds in their ears. We are the center of these conversations because that's how this country works. How are we supposed to have conversations between men and women, or people of a different race, or people of a different age range, without being accused of, first and foremost, taking the super easy punch and bringing that difference to the forefront? I mean, we've got to be able to discuss these tough issues, and we have to be able to discuss them between people who are not exactly right. And it seems as though it's such an easy, cheap shot to come out for George Stephanopoulos, or anybody else for that matter, and go straight to the gender difference between them.
Yeah, and I honestly, I think Pence had enough problems to deal with besides making it up. I mean, but as a Republican, we have not had the best 2 weeks in terms of like some of our behavior from our president. But and Pence has always found a way to put glitter and sprinkles on anything that people have issue with. He's the best at what he does. He is I don't want to say master, but he is a pro debater. He's really good at what he does. The only thing that you were going to pick on him for anything would be his really long intros into each question. But I think he felt he had to be overly complimentary and respectful and thankful before he would get into what the Republican view is on the situation. So I honestly think he did a really good job in terms of his demeanor and how he debated with Kamala Harris. He was respectful. He talked over, but I mean, that's what politicians do. But it was never at the point, even when she said, I am talking or you interrupted me, he stopped. And he didn't stop it. And so he said, okay, sorry. So, I mean, as far as points go, as far as being respectful and courteous, I think Pence scored huge points. And I was able to watch the entire debate because it was an actual debate. Now, both sides did well. Both sides had moments. Both sides claimed victory. I don't think typically the VP debates move the needle one way or the other. But I think we had a good picture of what it would look like, even though neither one of them wanted to answer the question, what it would look like if they have to take over as president. So I think we got a good look at it.
Tyrus on the phone with us, Fox Nation host of Nuff Said and Fox News contributor. Tyrus, you just said it that maybe the needle didn't move last night much, but in this debate, was there more focus on Kamala Harris because of the problems that everybody's talking about with Joe Biden? And if so, do you think she rose to that occasion last night?
I think it was her introduction to the world, basically. I know there was, Democratic debates and stuff, but this is like the biggest stage I think she's been on in terms of the debate. I don't think Biden's had any more problems than Trump has. So I would say it's a push. Both president-elect and both sides of the fence got issues. And, Pence, he backs the president no matter what, even though sometimes we would like him to explain something or add some clarity, because I think Mike Pence can do that. I think when our president's emotional, Pence could and should have the ability to break it down for us. But he does not do that. He just doubles down on his president. So I don't really feel either one does anything to push the needle other than they both had good accounts of themselves. They both got their points across, and they both dodged questions that apparently that the president and vice president don't want to answer, and they fell in line and didn't answer them. Particularly, Harris with the packing the Supreme Court, and Pence with kind of ducking and dodging a lot of the COVID questions. So, and neither one of them wanted to talk about giving up power. But then again, how do you even have that conversation? Hey, boss, in case you get senile or sick, I just want you to know I'll pull the plug. You know what I'm saying? Like,
very sensitively.
Yeah, they definitely have to bring it up. There's no segue. Like, speaking of dying on the job, hey, I got a quick question for you.
Hypothetically speaking here.
Yeah,
say.
Because no one, just think about it. Just take it in your spot. If your intern comes in and goes, hey, Mrs. Fry, if you get laryngitis or sick or anything, I'll just take over the show.
Wait, Ryan Wiggins just said this to me last week.
I say it in every break.
Yeah.
What would happen if you were ever gone? I mean, like gone.
If you were locked in the closet and I had the key, but I'm going to do the show before I unlock you, are we
completely hypothetically? Yeah.
Completely hypothetically.
What's your address?
I just thought it was one of those questions that I laughed because I can't see either candidate saying, hey, in case of this, I want you to know you have my full confidence. Literally will be my last breath will be my final order. So, and that's just, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. We see that in the Senate. We've seen people on the job passing away. And so I don't see the presidency going any other way.
We're speaking with Fox News contributor Tyrus, and I want to ask you, at the end of every debate, at the end of every big news bomb, we find out today that tomorrow Nancy Pelosi is going to bring up the 25th Amendment. Like, we're back around to that in this revolving door of craziness. I always look at what's changed, what has moved the needle. I am pretty convinced that this is still a referendum on Donald Trump election, that you are either voting for Trump or against Trump. Do you think that Joe Biden has done anything, or that the Biden-Harris ticket has done anything up to here on Thursday, October 8th, to tell the American people why they would be the right choice, not just better than the wrong choice?
Well, the first part of that, Pelosi's doing that because she warned us. She said that she had some arrows. Was it arrows to throw?
Arrows in her quiver.
Yeah, arrows in a quiver to throw over the Supreme Court pick. So trying to move this in front of that, if there's a hearing, if there's a vote, obviously it would slow down the selection process. So I think that's her move on the 25th Amendment situation. I think Biden's had a particularly good month in terms of he scored some points. Whether we want, the debate wasn't a good look for us, and I always believe if we don't criticize our own team, then we can't be better. And the debate wasn't good for us, and it changed. A lot of people started looking at Joe. I always thought it was a mistake, and I've been on the record. Attacking Joe Biden just doesn't work the same as attacking Hillary Clinton. The Clintons are an institution. They have all kinds of deep statism, and there was Bill Clinton's presidency and his issues, and some of her issues, and her personality, and the way that she treated Barack Obama when they ran for the Democratic nomination. There was a lot of fodder there for him to attack her, and a lot of Americans got behind that. Joe Biden's not that guy. And I really wanted President Trump to just go on a boasting tour of his accomplishments and where he's going, and really not acknowledge Joe Biden that much. You're not getting much mileage out of the Hunter stuff. You're not getting much mileage over attacking him, saying he doesn't have his wits about him. Like, those things just didn't work. And it's really too bad, because the final answer to your question is only President Trump can lose this election. I really believe that. I don't think Joe Biden can win this election, but I do think President Trump can give it away. If that makes any sense at all, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think if he loses this election, he would only have to look back at himself. You had the lead, you kept going for the knockout, and you didn't need it when you've done the things that you've done in terms of, and Mike Pence laid it out. He laid a plan out last night. If he could take Mike Pence's, I think it was fourth question, when he listed the things they were doing and jobs and ideas and places where they're going, you get behind that. You're like, yeah, we did do those things. And we're not hearing that from him. He's too busy on the attack with the press and the fight. And I think he's making people who are on the fence tired, if that makes any sense. What I'm hearing people in the street come up to me, 6 months ago, it was Trump, Trump, Trump. I live in Louisiana. Trump, Trump, Trump. Doesn't matter, And then now you're hearing, I think Joe's nicer. They're starting, and you're thinking, what? But they're starting to be more in places where typically it's red meat all day, every day, especially in the older community. You're starting to hear rumblings, and we've seen that in some of the pollings too. So he's still got time. He's got time. All he has to do is literally just start talking about the things they've done, and Joe Biden would not get press time if President Trump didn't bring him up. I really believe that.
There's still time for Trump to stick the landing, but he's got to do it. Tyrus, always great to talk to you. Stay safe. You guys are really, rolling around in this hurricane season stuff.
We're dodging bullets over here. We're dodging bullets.
Yeah, 2020 is hard enough. Louisiana has been taking it hard. We are praying for you and everybody around you, and hope you get through this one, and no more excitement of this kind for the rest of the year. We'll see. Tyrus, thanks so much. Good to talk to you again.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You as well. Follow him on Twitter at Planet Tyrus, Fox News contributor, host of Enough Said. You see him on the Dana Perino Show. You see him on the Greg Gutfeld Show. And I always appreciate getting his perspective on here, because it's a little bit different than the way we hear a lot of other folks talking about it. So good to have him on here. Let's take a quick break. Don't forget, here in about, 15 minutes or so, a little bit longer than that, we are going to have George Papadopoulos on the show. George Papadopoulos is one of the origin individuals that was involved in this entire Russia collusion scandal, hoax, story. Which is it? We're going to ask him here in a bit, but we're going to get more reaction to what we just talked about with Tyrus. Katie, Ryan, my question when we come back, because we had a comment here from a listener on Facebook, and invite all of you to watch us on our Facebook Live and chat along with us, because we read all of these comments, and the Annie Fry YouTube page as well. We heard George Stephanopoulos saying that Pence was mansplaining to Kamala. Was Kamala womansplaining to Mike Pence? I can't stop thinking about this. We'll discuss when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Tax credits for developers to build more houses for low-income people sound like a good idea, but it hasn't worked for Missouri. For decades, Missouri matched the federal contribution to the Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program, costing state taxpayers more than $1 billion. 3 consecutive state auditors found that less than half of each dollar spent on the program goes toward the construction of affordable housing. So a little more than 2 years ago, Missouri stopped taking part. But now there's talk of beginning again without addressing why it was stopped in the first place. In fact, since Missouri pulled its funding for the program, the number of affordable housing units being built across the state has gone up, not down. The state needs a new approach to building affordable housing. Why double down on a program that has historically failed to deliver? Check out our 2020 blueprint, moving Missouri forward at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
If you're looking to lose weight, if you want to go into the holiday season, shedding those extra pounds that you've been carrying around, I don't blame you. And I want to introduce you to myslim180.com. You can choose a traditional program at MySlim180 or the medically supervised HCG rapid weight loss program. That's what I lost over 40 pounds with MySlim180. And I have been able to maintain a very healthy lifestyle since then. And I'm very grateful to MySlim180 because of that. They also have a new Quick Start Lipolean program. All Slim 180 centers are following strict guidelines to keep you safe so that you can meet in person if you like, but if you also would prefer remotely, they can do that as well. They also can mail products to you, and they can accommodate a curbside pickup to help you be set up for success. Schedule a free consultation today. If you have questions, if you've heard us talking about this here and you want to know more, don't hesitate. Call 888-754-6111 and lose the weight today, whether it's 10 pounds or 100 pounds or even more. MySlim180.com. Go to the website, find out how they can help you, and schedule your free consultation. And when you call, mention Annie to let them know where you heard about them from. MySlim180.com.
Mark Cox here. There's a lot going on in real estate right now. If you're planning to sell, who do you call and trust to get the most money for your home safely and hassle-free? I've got your answer. It is Gloria Liu with GL International Realty, part of the Coldwell Banker Premier Group. Listen, there's a difference between just getting your home sold and getting it done right. Getting your home sold means getting more money in your pocket, not just getting the house sold. Gloria nets her sellers 3% more than the average agent on a $300,000 home. That's $9,000 more in your pocket. Call Gloria. Let her show you how she puts that exclusive database of over 9,000 ready buyers to work for you. Your home may already be sold. Better yet, Gloria will guarantee to sell your home, or she'll buy it herself in writing. Call Gloria Liu today, 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. 2019 pricing. That means in just about everything you do, the price goes up a little bit the next year. Things cost more. This year, Darren at Rhino Shield is holding his prices to last year's levels because he knows people are dealing with different issues during this whole pandemic. If you were thinking about getting the outside of your house painted, don't. Get it Rhino Shield. Have a Rhino Shield put on the outside of it. This is this exterior ceramic coating. So don't wait. Get on the list now, right? Get it done while the getting is good, and you don't have to worry about the outside of your house or your business or your condo or your church. Go to 877-25rhino.com. Darren's got a lot of pictures, before and after pictures of the hundreds and hundreds of properties in the greater St. Louis area that he's gone out and put this outstanding product on. You'll be glad you did. And then you get a 25-year warranty. 877-25rhino or 877-25rhino.com.
Every day, Ameren works to deliver reliable energy throughout the region to on-the-go families, new parents, in-the-know grandparents, busy students, night owls, weekend warriors, and more. But did you know we also have options to help manage and track your energy, like paperless billing, outage notifications, pick a due date, and so much more. So no matter who you are or how you use your energy, there's an option that's right for you. Learn more at Ameren.com/options.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. No one can predict what's going to happen, but almost all economists agree that you need to be locked in to your refinance before the election. Right now, the Federal Reserve is taking action, reducing interest rates down into the 2s. We can get you closed in as little as 30 days, and you can skip 2 full months of mortgage payments. Start saving now. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Up to the minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Yeah, let's talk about packing the court then. Let's talk about the pack. Yeah, I'm about to. So the Trump-Pence administration has been, because I sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee, Susan, as you mentioned, and I've witnessed the appointments for lifetime appointments to the federal courts, district courts, courts of appeal. People who are purely ideological, people who have been reviewed by legal professional organizations and found to have been not competent, are substandard. And do you know that of the 50 people who President Trump appointed to the Court of Appeals for lifetime appointments, not one is black? This is what they've been doing. You want to talk about packing a court? Let's have that discussion.
Seriously, the response after Pence pushed and pushed and pushed. Are you going to pack the court? Are you going to pack the court? Kamala's like, but racism. Give me a break. I can't even believe it. Like that was the biggest diversion. I think everybody was like leaning in to see who was going to win this spar here. And then at the end, it was like, but racism. And everybody was like, and then it was like, well, of course. Why didn't I see that coming? How would I not see that coming? I should have called that from the very beginning. That's the easiest thing to call.
Yeah, that was at the end. The whole thing was a dream ending. Oh, yeah. Should have saw that one coming. That's what it always is.
Give me a break. Katie, cut 14 is George Stephanopoulos and weighing in on how the night went. And I think he tried to level the playing field a little bit here. Listen to the word he uses to explain this event.
And computer shut. Well, here we go. Hold on.
You got it? Oh, she said ope.
Oh,
yeah, no.
Nope. It's a problem. There's an issue going on.
That's fine. Forget about it. Mansplaining. Mansplaining is the word that was used. George Stephanopoulos said that Mike Pence was mansplaining to Kamala Harris. There is nothing that Mike Pence could have done in a vice presidential debate, folks. This is a really big deal. This is very high up. It's like the second most important conversation that you're going to hear, second to the presidential debate. And when he explains, like, what is he not allowed to explain things that she's saying wrong or clarify points when she attacks him? What could he have been more polite in the way that good grief. He congratulated her on the historic moment of having a black woman have this conversation, or be a part of this debate. He was very complimentary. He was excessively kind. And George Stephanopoulos is like, sensed a little bit of mansplaining there. Well, we had a comment from a listener here on Facebook who said, was Kamala woman-splaining to Mike Pence? And Katie, I'm going to go to you first because you're a woman. Is there such thing as woman-splaining? And if so, was it Kamala Harris doing that last night?
There is such a thing as woman-splaining.
What is it?
And let me read. Can I read the definition of mansplaining first?
Yes.
Okay.
I should probably read it to you just to be sure.
Yeah, please do that. Thanks, Ryan. I'm just stupid. Do it for me. Okay, the definition
Can you
is.
dumb it down for us, please, Ryan. To let us X chromosomes understand you.
That was the big talky talk. Here's what it really means.
The explanation of something by a man, typically to a woman, in a manner regarded as condescending or patronizing. Those two words are very, very important when it comes to what woman-splaining and Kamala Harris was doing last night.
And the verdict is, was she woman-splaining?
Yes. If we're going to take it by the mansplaining definition, which has condescending or patronizing in the actual definition, then you cannot look at what Kamala Harris was doing last night and not say she was not doing either one of those things.
That's Jackie on Facebook said no, but Kamala was woman-splaining. What about you, Ryan?
Can we just take woman or man out of it and make it non-gender binary splaining? Because that can happen either way, as we're talking about. Like, she definitely was doing that at times. What's
Carla says, I call it Kamala-splaining, which is really how she talks.
Yeah.
It's the way that she communicates. And it's a very us and them way of doing it. And I'm not saying that, like, okay, so we were looking on Twitter, and apparently Leslie Marshall, who is one of the Democrat pundits that's on Fox a lot, I appreciate her. I like her because I think that she doesn't make inflammatory points, but she still obviously supports the Democratic side of the aisle. She's on Twitter going back and forth right now with Megyn Kelly, because Megyn Kelly tweeted last night. I'm going to find the actual tweet here because I want to make sure I get her words exactly. It was a very brief but very poignant tweet of hers. She was not loving the Kamala presentation last night either, just like a lot of people who I was reading. So let's see here. Here's the tweet about the fly. The fly is free and now getting a COVID test. Man, she tweeted a lot.
She did, yeah.
And I loved it.
Fly. Can't believe that stupid fly.
Here's the tweet. Take it like a woman. Don't make faces. That's the tweet, which is a phrase on Twitter that I hate. There it is. That's the tweet. I hate that. Hate it. And go. I hate it. I hate a lot of things today. I'm not really in this bad of a mood as it appears that I am, because I thought that
you should just get off Twitter.
Why?
We can't.
Then what would I do between midnight and 3 a.m.?
Well, that's true. Yeah, you just sit there and look at the ceiling.
Take it like a woman. Don't make faces. Katie, if somebody said that to you, how would you react to that?
I would say that is a bold statement. That is a very bold statement to say.
It's a bold strategy, Kat.
Yeah,
we'll see how it works
absolutely. Absolutely. Just because, whenever it can go one of two ways. And one of the ways that it could go is that you're looked at as critiquing and talking down to another woman and not supporting or respecting her just because she's making facial expressions.
Time out. Do all women have to support all women?
No.
That was my understanding.
No.
Well, let's explain that. That's not how it works. I mean, don't you get a little bit sick and tired of this? Like, I mean, strong women need to support strong women. Yes. If you're tearing somebody down because they're a woman, that's crappy of you. But if you're tearing somebody down because they're not making a good case with the information that they're presenting, and they're doing it in a way that is destructive, like I don't feel like I owe anybody my loyalty and respect. I think you have to earn it. And if you haven't earned it, just because of your gender doesn't mean you get more respect from me from the get than a man would. Ryan,
conversely, does it bother you two as strong women when people don't let Kamala stand on her own and have to defend her as a woman, as if she's not capable enough because she's a woman?
Who's doing that?
People were saying, people were defending her and saying, well, people are mansplaining to you. You shouldn't have to endure that. She's running for vice president.
Yeah.
Well, but from what I understand, she only was qualified to be the vice presidential candidate because she was a woman. You want to talk about mansplaining, Joe Biden? You want to, I am going to put a woman on this ticket because I need a woman more than I need a man. That's as gross as it gets. Why would you not just pick a woman? I want the most qualified person. And in this instance, it happens to be a woman. That is something to be championed. That the fact that you've decided to select this individual person and they happen to be a woman is something of commendation. But if you want to, I'm sorry, I'm not going to speak for a woman because that's not how any of this works. I don't ever want anything because I'm a woman. I want it because I am the best at it. I want it because I'm the most, deserved person for whatever the position is, whether it's like PTA president or, head of some charity commitment or, the person in our house who's going to orchestrate the Disney vacation. Like if I'm going to be the person who does it, I want to be the best. I want to be the right person for the job, not the right woman for the job. That eliminates 50% of the entire population just because of my gender, which I, in fact, have zero control over. That is the most mansplaining that you can come up with. The idea that you would eliminate the possibility of any man, even the dumbest man that is out there, all the way up to the most brilliant man. None of those people are qualified for the job. I'll take any woman over that. Go ahead, Ryan, before
Does
we
it
break.
also bother you that Trump said ahead of time, I'm going to nominate a woman for this Supreme Court seat?
Yes, it does. I wish he would have just picked a woman. He already had his list. It's the same thing. If you know that you want it to be Amy Coney Barrett and you want to squeeze 2 more days out of the news cycle so that you can get the credit for the identity politicking of saying you're going to pick a woman, doesn't do it for me. Just pick the chick. Don't make it about gender, because at the end we'll be like, oh my gosh, he picked a woman. Then it's exciting and it's fresh. And you make the case that Amy Coney Barrett wasn't just the best woman on the list. She was the best person on the list. And that is so much more meaningful. Like, women see this. Women are not so stupid to be like, oh, that's so wonderful how he decided he was definitely going to pick a woman for this job. We want the best person. And of course, I want it to be a woman if the woman is the best. But I'm not going to be happy because she's a woman that got picked. I'm going to be happy because somebody is acknowledging that the best person in the room might happen to wear heels and carry a purse. That's fine with me. Give me a break, people. Like, we're not as stupid as they need us to be, which is a phrase I feel like I say way too much on the show.
It's okay. You're doing fine.
Did I
Everything's
just
fine.
woman-splain? Crap. Was that the most meta segment that we have ever done?
I don't know. I don't know which way's up.
Well, when I sat down after I ran upstairs to check on my son, because he's home after surgery yesterday, when I sat down, it was cold in here and I pulled my blanket up on my lap and now I'm out of breath and I'm like, it's hot.
Well, I'm hot here too, so I don't know if that
weird.
helps. It's
Weird
coming
how
through
that
the
works.
screen.
Let's go to a break, because when we come back, we're going to speak with George Papadopoulos, and we're going to talk about this information that is coming out, the declassifications of these just bombshell for real documents that shed light on what happened in 2016 and what the Hillary Clinton campaign and Hillary Clinton herself and Barack Obama have to do with it. George Papadopoulos when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with 0% financing for 72 months and Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying equipment when you purchase and install a new HVAC system. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
How do you know when someone is in the extreme? Would you know? For State Senator Jill Shoup, it's easy to tell. Maybe it's because she voted against a constitutional amendment making it easier to prosecute child sex offenders. Prosecutors argued it would be a powerful tool to go after sexual predators who target innocent children. And voters passed it overwhelmingly, with more than 70% of the vote. But Jill Shoup voted no. And when she had the chance, Shoup voted against bipartisan legislation requiring the state to report illegal immigrant sex offenders to federal authorities. Each time she voted no, who was Jill Shoup protecting? Maybe it's hard to tell if someone is in the extreme, but when it comes to Jill Shoup, it's pretty easy. You just look at her record. NRCC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.nrcc.org.
there's something really special about hair salon that once you go in and you get through the whole experience of getting a haircut at hair salon, you realize that it makes you want to come back again and again. And the slogan for hair salon is that hair salon believes men deserve better. I absolutely understand that and agree with that. You know, you can go to on a Saturday morning, drive past a lot of these different haircut places. They give a good haircut. There's nothing bad about the way they do it, but there's something extra at hair salon that is going to entice you to come back again and again. And it's just the way that they do customer service. It's the way they care for the men who come in and get their haircut and trust their, haircut to these fine people who have been working at hair salon for so long. They don't have a lot of turnover. You can go back and see the same person again and again. And that also gives people confidence. A complimentary beverage, perfect haircut, relaxing shampoo, hot towel and mint, complimentary shoe shine, and 25% discount on services all day and every day for veterans, active duty military, and first responders. There are a ton of locations in the area, so I want you to go online right now to find the one nearest you and get your haircut this weekend at Hair Salon, hairsaloon.com.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income in just 5 payments? You heard right. In just 5 payments, set up a 6-figure retirement cash flow for as long as you live. There's a retirement crisis in America because the pension system of old has been raided and destroyed, and Social Security is already running out of money. Most Americans are shocked to find out they need over $2.5 million to have $100,000 in retirement. A new approach is required to solve this crisis. That's why this revolutionary 5-pay retirement program was released, allowing everyday Americans to use bank money to create a retirement cash flow without relying on Social Security or pensions. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it accelerates the amount they'll have at retirement or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement in just 5 payments, call Wealth Education Group now at 1-800-283-9595 to see if you qualify for this brand new program. Plus, as a free bonus, you'll get the 5-pay retirement guide and video. Call 800-283-9595. 1-800-283-9595. That's 1-800-283-9595.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet.com. So it's crazy time at ThrottleNet. They are IT geniuses, but they are a little bit nutty. Right now, they will pay you $250 for a conversation about your IT support because they value your time during the crazy pandemic. They'll give you the first 30 days for free, no charge for all of their services. And then they'll pay you another $1,000 if you decide to leave in the first 30 days for your trouble. They don't anticipate that you're going to leave, but if you do, they'll shake your hand, they'll put you back where you were, and they'll write you a check for $1,000. It is completely no risk, and they reward you for your time and for your effort. They are the best IT shop in the city, named number 1 5 years straight. They are good guys. Like I said, they are geniuses at protecting you, but they can communicate. They don't stare at their shoes. They look you in the eye, and they tell you what you need to know. ThrottleNet.com/971.
The Tim Jones Show.
You know, the Dems, as they always love to do, they love to pick and choose things from the Catholic faith. They're all in on the social justice warrior stuff. The minute you bring up the right to life, well, then the Catholics are crazy.
Tim Jones, Sunday nights at 7 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So I think, as Rick said, this election coming up is the most important, certainly in our lifetimes. And I would just encourage people to vote, because I believe that we need to send a resounding signal, not just to the American people, that Trump's activities and his administration's behavior are being denounced. We need to send a signal to our allies and partners and adversaries around the world that the Trump presidency was an aberration, that the United States can be back on track, and we're going to be bigger and better than ever before.
So that's John Brennan there, who was in charge of the CIA when all of this Russia collusion stuff started happening. And I want to know what our guest thinks about this. George Papadopoulos joins us now. He's a former member of the Foreign Policy Advisory Panel for Trump's 2016 campaign. And he's also author of The Deep State Target: How I Got Caught in the Crosshairs of the Plot to Bring Down President Trump. We are learning a little bit more about the origin of that plot. And George, I've been following you on Twitter for quite some time. You've been a guest to the show many times, and I am always looking forward to hear what your opinion is, your reaction is to the current moment in time. Thank you for your time today.
we're seeing some of these documents being released, declassified by Ratcliffe. What's your reaction to what the American people have in their fingertips right now?
Oh, and thanks a lot for having me. And it's always a great pleasure to be on your show. And look, yeah, I've been on your show a lot of times, and even during the last appearance, before even this news broke on the CIA, I was mentioning to you and your audience that the CIA and all the activities abroad is where the action was and where we should be keeping our focus. I always felt that the media's attention or obsession in many ways on the lovers, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, while it was important, it was focusing on the trees and missing the forest. The forest is exactly what all of these files that have yet to be declassified up until now are all about. The reason that Brennan is so worried about what was going on is because he has just now been thrust into the spotlight, and his activities were pretty much classified. No one knew what was going on. Everybody kept thinking that what Trump and his associates were talking about spying was all a conspiracy theory. But now we have just open articles coming out over the last couple of days, even before the president decided to declassify all these thousands of pages, were that the CIA director was blocking the declassification of all of this material. Who is she protecting? None other than her predecessor, John Brennan, and the entire CIA. And that's exactly what the American people now will finally be able to see, is that the CIA was running the show with foreign governments and feeding dirty information to a willful FBI. This was a coordinated attack on our democratic process.
It's stunning. I mean, you've said this on our show multiple times, and I see you saying it every single day out there, and also with your book, Deep State Target. This would be the biggest scandal in American history. It would be. Maybe it is the biggest scandal in American history. What we've seen from what Ratcliffe has declassified right now is the suggestion that the entire Russia collusion story was a fabrication, a fantasy of Hillary Clinton during the campaign, divert attention of the American people away from her scandal, her email scandal. And a lot of people hear Hillary emails and they just gloss over, like, oh, here we go with the Hillary emails again. Is it true, with your firsthand experience in this situation, is it true that the Russia scandal with Donald Trump was a fabrication and an inside job?
Look, absolutely. And all you have to look at, just the public figures who are involved in this scandal, who are helping divert the attention away from Hillary's email problems, were people who were connected to both the CIA, MI6, the Clinton campaign, and on the payroll of the foundation. People like Christopher Steele, Alexander Downer, Stefan Halper. Now we know that Jake Sullivan, who was then her foreign policy advisor on her campaign and is also a current foreign policy advisor to the Biden campaign, was the one who was coordinating in July of 2016 to get this fake information out about the Russians and the Trump campaign. No one in the Trump campaign had anything to do with the Russians. In fact, when I brought up in the beginning of my time working on the campaign in March, April, and May of possibly having some sort of foreign policy trip to Europe and Russia, the campaign shot that down immediately. So how this notion that the campaign was working or colluding with the Russians, let alone any other foreign government, came about, it was exactly like you said. It was a manufactured event because the candidate had made public statements that it was in America's national interest to work with Russia at the geopolitical level. I think most of your listeners, including myself, would agree that not having war and conflict with Russia is good for America. That's all the candidate was talking about, and why the attention should have been on China. But because the candidate mentioned that in coordination with Hillary's email problems, they tried to conflate these two to mushroom a scandal that was an inside job. It's all coming out now. And people like Jake Sullivan, who are currently on Biden's foreign policy team, are only going to suck in Biden and his campaign even more into Obamagate as more and more of this is coming out.
If Hillary Clinton believed that she could manifest a scandal, pay for and manifest a scandal, suggesting that somehow Trump and Russia were in bed together to try to steal the election, Was Hillary being so reckless, so confident in her ability to win the election, she thought she would get away with it? Or the alternative, it was so necessary to ensure that she would win the election for both her and Barack Obama, who was briefed by this from John Brennan. The handwritten notes of that oral meeting, face-to-face meeting with the president, have now been released as well. Was Hillary Clinton being reckless or desperate to put this scandal together?
I think it was both. I think she was desperate to get the scandal out there because she wanted to deflect from her own problems. And she was involved as well to make sure that if she did lose, which she ended up losing, that there would be a mini crisis that would then metastasize into the special counsel. And we all know what's happened over the last 3 years to our country because of it. The insurance policy that we keep hearing Peter Strzok and Lisa Page talk about, that's what this was all about. And Clinton, we now know for the first time ever, was directly involved, and Obama and the senior White House officials were knowingly involved as well with the Clinton campaign to fabricate this entire disaster. And in my opinion, Annie, this is probably going to affect the election much more so than any other issue out there except the economy. If you focused on the debate between President Trump and Biden, there was one issue that Biden really couldn't shake, and that was Obamagate and what his son was up to with the Russian and Ukrainian oligarchs and taking all this dirty money from them. So I hope the president, now that he has actually declassified these files, he does make sure that the CIA director hands over those files to Durham. Durham is unable to use whatever new evidence he has obtained to either charge or indict people, or at least get the real story out. And that the president keeps focusing on this particular issue because it's not a conspiracy theory. What happened in 2016, if it's not rectified, will happen again in 2020 and beyond, and it'll be even worse. So this really is a serious issue, and we need to make sure that it is out there with less than 26 days to go before an election.
We're speaking with George Papadopoulos, author of the book Deep State Target, How I Got Caught in the Crosshairs of the Plot to Bring Down President Trump. Now, I'm going to give you a question that a lot of people will say after I get done interviewing you, and I want to give you an opportunity to respond to those people directly. People who want to discredit you and talk about you being thrown in jail for lying about the Trump campaign's contact with Russians. What is your response to those people, and why should people take your word about what you're discussing right now?
Well, there are a lot of political persecutions in this case, and I was just one of them. I wasn't the only one. And we see what's happening with three-star General Michael Flynn for the last 2.5 years. And my heart goes out to him and his family because I think he's suffering a lot more than I ever did. And I ended up going in for 10 days. Look, when the entire federal government has zeroed in on you, meaning myself, and have painted an individual as a patsy to undo an entire presidential election and then revert to a coup attempt on the sitting president, there's really no chance you could get out of that unless you want to end up bankrupt and go through the litigation process that will last years and years, like General Flynn has done. In my case, I had two opportunities. One, go through the arduous, expensive process and never get my story out, and then have this all go under the dustbin of history and have no impact whatsoever on the 2020 election and on American history, or lose the battle to win the war. And that's exactly what I ended up doing. I saw that I was set up. I saw that they had nothing. But by getting my story out there and talking to reporters and going on TV, like I did, and my then girlfriend and now wife was doing the same thing, knowing that I was set up and they couldn't do anything to me, it really started to change the narrative from collusion to Spygate. And that all happened when we started learning more and more about people like Stefan Halper, who Joseph Mifsud and his people really were. And that could not have happened if I was in the process of litigation or fighting this or had a gag order the way General Flynn does. So while, of course, I applaud General Flynn for fighting back and doing what he's doing, the result of what's happened to him is millions of dollars in legal fees and some sort of gag order that he has not been able to get off him and fight and go on offense when we desperately needed him now 25 days before the election. So that's what I would say to anybody who would be on the fence about what I'm saying, and also just to look at all the declassified files that are corroborating every single statement I've ever made. And look, this isn't the first time that the U.S. government has worked to set up political opponents. This isn't the first time the FBI has been mirrored in a scandal, and it's probably not going to be the last. But I hope that the president holds these people accountable so that they do learn a lesson to ensure that this does not happen again, because we should not be interfering in our elections. If you want to beat your political opponents, don't weaponize the intel agencies against them. Beat them the old-fashioned way, and that's at the ballot box.
George Papadopoulos, thank you so much. Please stay close by. We are going to continue to have you on because I think that with each passing day, this is going to get more and more upfront and center. And your firsthand experience is so valuable to our listeners. Thank you so much for the time today. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. George Papadopoulos, author of Deep State Target, How I Got Caught in the Crosshairs of the Plot to Bring Down President Trump. And if you're paying attention to what's going on in the news that is out there, it was absolutely a plot to bring down the president. More conversation on this when we return. 314-241-9797. Give us a call. We'll be right back.
KFTK FM Florissant, K254CR St. Louis, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk, a radio.com station.
They wanted to start a civil war. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's one of the allegations against some of the 13 people charged in plots to attack the state capitol, law enforcement, and the governor in Michigan.
Our efforts uncovered elaborate plans to endanger the lives of law enforcement officers, government officials, and the broader public.
State Attorney General Dana Nessel at a news conference with federal prosecutors. An FBI affidavit says 6 of the suspects plotted for months, training with what's described as a militia group and plotting to kidnap government officials, including Governor Gretchen Whitmer, even staging rehearsals on how to do it at her vacation home. 7 others are accused of trying to target police in the state capitol. They're charged in state court. No word yet on whether the commission in charge will agree to what either presidential campaign is now proposing after a shakeup in the debate format. Fox's John Decker is live in Washington.
Hours after President Trump rejected a decision by the Commission on Presidential Debates to hold a town hall style event on October 15th virtually instead of in person, the Biden campaign rejected a proposal from the Trump campaign to hold a third and final debate between the two men October 29th, a week later than originally planned. A Biden spokeswoman saying in a statement, the president's erratic behavior does not allow him to rewrite the calendar and pick new dates of his choosing. The Trump campaign has agreed with the Biden campaign that an in-person town hall could be held October 22nd, 2 weeks from today. Lisa?
Thanks, John. Facebook says it's removed nearly 300 accounts that use fake profiles to pose as conservative Americans. An Arizona marketing firm accused of being behind those accounts has also been removed. Facebook says that firm was working with a conservative youth organization accused of being part of a coordinated effort to post pro-Trump content. America's listening to Fox News.
What do you get when you talk to a Dell Technologies advisor? You get someone who understands there's an art to listening, who's able to hear more than what's being said, and can provide tailored small business solutions that make you feel truly heard.
I understand. Let's get started.
For advice on everything from laptops to the cloud and solutions powered by Intel vPro platform, call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly to mostly sunny skies on this Thursday afternoon. 82 doing it for the high. That high happening about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, 55. Friday, partly sunny, 82 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, a mix of clouds and sunshine because of some clouds from Hurricane Delta. 79, 80 for the high Saturday and again on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a right fit for you. And check out the podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's digital editor, Megan Crane.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. It's already October and the leaves are falling. If you're still thinking about that perfect home, it's not too late. And with mortgage interest rates in the twos, you have so much more buying power. At the Home Loan Expert office, we can get you pre-approved and locked in the same day and have you closed in 30 days or less. Enjoy the holidays in your new home and get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
It's cash for clunkers when you upgrade with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. We'll haul away your old garage doors and give you instant credit toward the new one. What are your old clunkers worth? $150 for a double garage door, $100 for a single door. Cash in on your old opener and entry door too. Don't miss Cash for Clunkers in October at Overhead Door. Trusted by homeowners in St. Louis since 1926. To schedule your free estimate, call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, the genuine, the original.
Rudy Beck and Jay Lennox are hosting an event, and I want to invite you to it because when it comes time to long-term care planning, it's a bit intimidating, isn't it? How are you supposed to know what you don't know? Well, that's where they come in, and that's why they are always offering up their services to provide to you up front. When you call, get a free consultation if you don't have any estate planning, 636-946-7899. That's 636-946-7899. But there's something special taking place right now, Tuesday, October 13th at 5:30 p.m. That's Tuesday, October 13th at 5:30 p.m. and Tuesday, October 20th at 10 a.m. Here's what you need to know. They're going to discuss how not to go broke in a nursing home, which top government programs may be available to you, how widows can get help from the VA for long-term care, and Medicaid benefits for assisted living communities that 99% of people don't even know about. Did you know that Medicare does not pay for a nursing home, or that a semi-private bed in a nursing home costs more than $7,000 per month based on the national average? Are you prepared to spend that kind of money? Rudy Beck and Jay Lennox can help you with that process. Get scheduled for one of these webinars today. Go online to beckelderlaw.com for more.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Get ready for SEC football. Saturdays in Columbia, Missouri will look different than ever before. Your support during this time is needed now more than ever. A Southeastern Conference only schedule. It's the cream of the crop. It's SEC football at Faurot Field. To support your Tigers, contact the Tiger Scholarship Fund. Call 1-800-CAT-PAWS or visit tsfmizzou.com. MIZ.
I'm Thomas Helbig, founder of the Retirement Advisory Group. When I meet my clients for the first time, many of them have worked over 90,000 hours and have built up a life savings. Their question is, what can I do with this money so we can live comfortably the rest of our lives? Not only do we set up a strategy to protect your retirement nest egg from market losses, but we build your own personalized structured income plan that will generate you an income the rest of your life. We put you in control of your money. You've earned it, and it's my job to make sure you enjoy it. Let our team show you how you can have the retirement of your dreams. Call me now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review, and you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. This book covers everything I teach in my live educational events. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, online at michaelsflooringoutlet.com. The home when you want to walk into a place of business and talk to experts about flooring. You can buy flooring at a lot of different locations. You can buy them at hardware stores, big box stores. You can get flooring, I think, at like the member club stores, which just, I saw that the other day. I was like, really? Wow.
Do you want an expert on flooring when you're making a purchase, especially if it's something that's going in your home, or if you're making a purchase for a commercial place of business? You need to go to the person that you can trust. And I'm telling you right now, that's Michael and his wonderful experienced staff at Michael's Flooring Outlet. If you have questions about Mohawk Smart Strand, Forever Clean, Arrow, Revwood Plus flooring, the prices right now are super low, and Michael's always has those experts to help pick the right flooring for your needs. So reach out to them online at michaelsflooringoutlet.com, or go into their one of their locations. They've got 3 of them: St. Charles County, West County, and Darien Prairie, and ask your questions and get a great value on a high quality product. michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
It's Decision 2020. And radio.com has you covered. Download the app for the very best discussion on your favorite programs on 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Forensic IT, the tech experts that find the root cause of your technical problems. ForensicIT.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long. Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. So happy that you've chosen to spend some time with us today. We are really, really grateful for that. So last night, we did another debate watch party. And I have to tell you, if you enjoy the Annie Fry Show from noon to 3, the off-the-air, non-FCC regulated watch parties that take place in my basement are fun.
Spicy.
All 3 of us said before the show started, like, we actually had a lot of fun tonight. I don't know why we're surprised by that.
It was so fun.
It's so weird because we don't like each other so much in a weekday.
It actually didn't suck to be with you people. But I mean, it's a lot of fun, and we are streaming on our YouTube page. And last night, I wanted to bring this up again. We can discuss this a little bit on air and get some reaction from you folks who are listening about some other things that we're thinking about potentially doing with our YouTube channel. Go to Annie Fry on YouTube and subscribe, and you can see we're live right there, just like we are on Facebook. And I mean, you never really know what's going to happen at these lives that take place at our homes. And we just, so Ryan does this thing with his hands.
You're gonna go there, okay.
Well, I mean, like, it's a big deal. Somebody gave us $5 last night to see you do it.
Yeah.
Ryan, when did you first learn that you could clap only using one hand?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let's talk about
Probably
it.
high school. I mean, that's when we discover all kinds
Is that
of
how you
things,
got
right?
chicks?
I would say yes, and that shows how many chicks I got.
Is that how you tried to get chicks?
Look at this talent.
Yeah, I tried a whole lot of things. I was rather repulsive in high school.
Oh, Ryan.
And I don't mean physically repulsive looking. I mean, I was
a very handsome man.
I've always been debonair, but I would do anything I could to like vet girls to make sure that they actually liked me. So I would just do anything I wanted.
That's what you just said there sounds like a fluffed up way of explaining stalking.
No.
I would do everything I could to vet girls to make sure that they were really into me.
Okay, that
definition
sounds like stalking.
Stalking.
I mean, I would kind of lay it all on the
Spy on
line and be
them.
like, look, this is who I am. I can clap with one hand. I can clap with 2 hands. I can do whatever I want, and you're going to have to like it or not. And if
What
they
was the
stuck around,
female reaction to this skill?
generally negative.
I'm going home now.
But I knew, well, then she's not the one.
So here's what I want to know from you fine folks. We're discussing how we can move past the election and continue to do some of these fun things. Fun things. I want to do an evening stand-up show where Ryan provides some stand-up comedic entertainment for us. I kind of want to do an evening where we have one set by Ryan and then one set where Katie does it that's written by Ryan.
Ooh, that's what we should do. I should get to write Katie's stand-up and she can write mine.
No, I don't want to write
Katie,
anything.
can you write stand-up?
I cannot write anything, but I will perform. I will perform my butt off, but I cannot write anything.
Well, that's fine. But if you write something bad, it would be up to me to perform it well. That's what I think you should do. I mean,
which
just
is
pull something off
ironically
Wikipedia.
the exact same thing that you'll have to do with what he writes.
Hey,
that hurts me right here.
Ouch.
I'm on the live stream. You can see me.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Christopher on everybody can hear me. Christopher on our Facebook Live says, Katie, just tell all of his jokes. If you don't know, on the live that we do on our Facebook page and on the YouTube page, during the breaks, often we will have people tell Katie jokes and then she rates them on a scale of 0 to 5. Maybe we can do that in the next break. We haven't done that today.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the jokes are pretty funny. Katie is easy to make laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that as a criticism of you.
Oh, I'm
Katie,
generous.
Yes. Great word for it. Katie is generous with her affection for good jokes and not so good jokes. And so maybe you could do some of those.
If you're having a bad day, it's very easy to make me laugh.
Yeah.
So just have at it.
So, and then we also said that maybe Katie could sing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Sing for requests.
And you'll play guitar.
Maybe.
No, that's the deal.
Okay, maybe.
You're gonna play guitar and harmonize, and I'll sing. We'll both sing.
So this is just what we're hoping to grow the YouTube channel because so we talked a little bit earlier about, like, Ryan, you do Twitter? Yeah. Do you think like who you follow on Twitter would tell Twitter if they were paying any attention? And they are. What kind of political person you are?
Would the people who follow me tell Twitter?
Would the
about
algorithm
me?
know? Would the algorithm know that you're right leaning?
Oh yeah.
So when you go on Twitter and it's like suggested for you, it's really amazing to me the things that Twitter thinks that I would be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really amazing to me how aggressive they are at trying to give me exposure to things that I would never, ever, ever want to follow. But it still does it. I'm curious what your experiences are as a listener. Do you see the constant like elbow nudging of, you need to look at this, you need to follow this, you need to see this story, or the stories that you get served up on something that is happening are always from these sources? Like, I mean, I don't want to read Vox. If I'm reading Vox, it's because I have put on the full suit of armor and decided I'm going in. Like, it is a predetermined decision for me to go, yeah, okay, fine, I'll read Slate. I'll see what Slate has to say, or The Atlantic. And there are those stories on the other side of the aisle and the right side of the aisle. I don't go there either for facts. I try to go to the places that are centrist, if there are any, and the ones that lean left and the ones that lean right. And then I kind of put together something like that. For instance, on our YouTube page, because of what I talk about here on the show, which we have high profile guests. Just today, we've had Dinesh D'Souza and George Papadopoulos, and I have to throw Tyrus in there because if he hears that I didn't include him in high profile guests, he'll come at me, and he's a big dude. But you've got these three people on here talking about gigantic national stories. That's of value to people, isn't it? But if I put in my YouTube description of this show, Dinesh D'Souza, now YouTube knows something about me, and they've pulled back our ability to use our YouTube page to grow our audience and to monetize, which is what they've done with Prager University. You know, like when I load our Facebook or our YouTube live, it says, well, we have limited availability for what we can do from a monetary standpoint. Every ad that shows up first on my YouTube page is from the Epoch Times. So Epoch Times is out there saying, I want to be seen in front of anything that's politically right-leaning. So they get the ad space. But YouTube is pulling back my ability to advertise with other people just because of what I'm talking about. I don't know that it's the same for people who are left-leaning. Do the Young Turks on YouTube get pulled back?
Good question.
Do you ever hear anybody from the left talking about censorship ever in any capacity whatsoever?
Not really.
No.
I don't think so.
You know what? There was a time I would have agreed that Twitter had me figured out, but I just pulled it up. Number one thing they think I would be interested in right now is the Hispanic Heritage Month sponsorship of Mexican racing cars.
There's a kink in the system.
Coca-Cola Mexican race car replicas.
Maybe you figured it out. Maybe that's what it is. Good grief.
Maybe they figured me out because I am now really interested in this.
Gotcha.
I just ordered 2
They know you
replica
gotcha.
Hispanic heritage race cars.
They know you better than you know you.
Yeah, they do.
So when I tell you, yeah, Brad Range on Facebook Live says the Young Turks get pushed to the front. They also have a channel on YouTube TV. Like, what in the world is that? That's YouTube TV. YouTube. You think that they're like, where is the conservative version? Like, why isn't OAN on YouTube TV? I don't know. And I'm sure it's not apples to apples. Again, it's anecdotal, but what I see is consistent, very consistent, pushing conservatives back and keeping them behind a wall so that other people can't get exposed to it, which is why I ask you, if you like our show, if you think that we're, of course, I am who I am. I believe what I believe. But if you think we're fair, share us. Because in the same capacity as this president isn't going to get the mainstream media to convey some kind of message that involves actual truth and facts that may inherently make the president look good, it's up to us to put the Trump sign in our yard. It's up to us to tell a friend, I know that you think Trump is the worst person ever. I'm actually going to vote for him, and I'd like to tell you why. And I hope that at the end of this, you'll still be my friend or my family member, that you're willing to have that conversation. We are, seriously, Katie and Ryan and I have together been in media for decades. When you add up all of the time that we've spent here, I have been with 97.1 for going on 12 years. And the digital landscape is the future of how we communicate with one another in the field of media. And we are busting our tails to expand how we get to come to you, because you are the person in this equation that really matters here. So we're on YouTube and we're trying to do these other things that bring you in and help build that relationship, because we care about you and we want you to bring more people into this Annie Fry Show family. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube page, we're going to be doing some YouTube only content in the future, maybe after the election. That's going to be kind of fun and centered around things that you would like to see, like shockingly, potentially Ryan Wiggins stand-up comedy. I kind of want to see it at least maybe just once. We'll see if
do somebody else's set that has nothing to do with me. Like the jokes wouldn't make any sense. I just want to redo that. That's what I'm going to do.
Ryan, some of your jokes don't make any sense.
Ryan,
it
why
would
don't
make
you
less
just do
sense
your
if I was
stuff?
doing a whole Rodney Dangerfield set from 1971.
But you got to be connected with us. You got to go to the Annie Fry YouTube page. And like today, for instance, we've got our live going up there. Give it a thumbs up because YouTube has deemed us less than valuable because of the content that we talk about here. And every thumbs up that you give us shows YouTube, nope, there are real people out there who do think this is valuable. And it will help us expand and get our message out. When you share us on your social media, you broaden the conversation here. And we can bring more people in and have a more meaningful discussion. It's really key to the next wave of how media is done. And all three of us millennials here, at least two of us centennials. Katie, I don't know if we can appropriate you into the centennial category.
Unfortunately, you cannot.
You're just holding on to that millennial thing. We have to figure out how to do this the next wave, and we want to do it with you. So please go like our Facebook page. I think I'm 64 people away on Twitter from 10,000 follows, which means nothing really, but we're trying to be everywhere you are so that we can have a bigger, broader conversation and that you can be the biggest part of it. That's the focus. That's the key here. Quick break. When we come back, let's get a sports update. Kind of a drought here in St. Louis of sports. We'll find out what Kevin Wheeler is focusing in on and what the off seasons here for the Blues and the Cardinals might hold. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Give me one good reason why I should never make a change.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
Baby, if you owe me, then
Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
give me one good reason why I should never never make a change.
Hey guys, Glover here. If you are nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the DGS.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 314-725-0000. Online at CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. Cordell & Cordell, 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Chesterfield, Missouri, 63017.
Deciding to build a home is a huge decision, and deciding who's going to build it is even bigger, because you want to go with somebody who you feel comfortable with, who you know is experienced, who you can trust. And I want to tell you about the amazing people at C.A. Jones. I've met these folks. They are so good at what they do. They are so kind, and they are experienced, and they are salt of the earth kind of people. They're also the largest home builder in the Metro East, and there's absolutely a reason why. These houses are beautiful. When you walk through and you see how they manage space, I personally really like the idea of having a place for everything and everything in its place, rather than some, massive expansive home. You want to have room, and you want to have it be, accommodating for you, but you don't really need to have extra. Well, depending on what you're looking for, they have a home design for you, and you can go online to cajonesinc.com right now to see homes and pricing, which is fantastic. They've got nothing to hide. They stand beside their work, and they should, because it's amazing. Ask about their Easy Buy program, and don't worry about that 20% down, no interest payments while your home is being built, or any of those headaches that come along with a traditional construction loan. Here's the number to call or text: 618-777-6080. That's 618-777-6080, online at cajonesinc.com.
TDK Technologies is looking for technology professionals who are passionate about what they do. No matter what you're looking for, TDK will take the time to get to know you and match your tech skills and your interests to their client needs and culture. If you need a change, TDK Technologies may have the technology career for you. Submit your resume today. It's time to make a real difference in your life. Apply to TDK Technologies today. TDKTech.com. TDKTech.com.
Attention! If you're in debt to the IRS and frustrated with your options, for a limited time you can call and quickly check your eligibility for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax problem. Through this special toll-free hotline number, you can find out in minutes if you qualify for these life-changing debt reduction programs. If you're in a payment plan with no end in sight, have unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief and stop IRS collections immediately. A+ rated with BBB and a 5-star rating with Yelp, this veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go it alone. Call their hotline number now, 800-539-3616. That's 800-539-3616. Check your eligibility for tax debt savings today. Call 800-539-3616. That's 800-539-3616. Or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Fall is here. Before you start that cozy fireplace, you need to get it swept by English Sweep. We keep fire in its place and fix leaky chimneys. Call English Sweep, the home of Missouri's only certified master chimney sweep. Call 636-225-3340. Then you can start making warm memories around your fireplace. Serving the St. Louis area for over 40 years. English Sweep, 636-225-3340. That's 636-225-3340.
Hi, it's Michael Mohan with Community Mortgage. With all the bad news out there, it's easy to miss the good news. Mortgage rates are at historic lows, making now a great time to buy or refinance a home. My customers are locking in the best rates in a generation. Now is the time to use the equity in your home to cash out for a remodel, pay off high-interest credit card debt, or rid yourself of the dreaded PMI. During these volatile times, times, you need an experienced local loan officer working for you. Call me, Michael Mohan, at 314-336-6050. I'm here in St. Louis, and when you call, you talk to me. Whether you are purchasing or refinancing, I want to help you save money on your home loan. Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, 314-336-6050. Online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, NMLS 250353224143. The crossroads is coming, and America will decide to go left or right. Stay connected. 97.1 FM Talk. Information with perspective. And your home for Decision 2020.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for choosing us on this Thursday afternoon. I appreciate you being here very much so. Just a reminder, you can stream us live at radio.com. It's our app. You can stream the whole station, 97.1 FM Talk, anytime. And you can rewind, which is crazy for radio. It's like, why couldn't we have done this a long time ago? If you ever want to rewind that joke that Ryan Wiggins told and you were laughing so hard you have to hear it again, you can do that at radio.com. That's why Ryan does that every day. He goes back and listens to all of his best jokes from the show. Is that right?
And that's what you do all night. That's why you stay up so late.
Yeah, that's why I stay up all night. That's right. There's nothing else going on in the world, so I have to entertain myself somehow. Speaking of things going on in the world, Kevin Wheeler is joining us now. KMOX sports reporter. Very excited to have you full time in the Intercom family here, Kevin, for the first time on our show, along with our sister station in a full time capacity. He's been with us on Thursdays for quite a while now. Kevin, great to have you back.
Good to be back, man. It's kind of crazy. It was 7 years ago when I initially left, and I guess I now have corrected my mistake.
Is that how? I mean, it's radio. Come on, we all know how this thing works. The bridges you don't burn, you can cross once again.
That's right.
Kevin, Cardinals are out of it. Man, that second game of the series was a really bad gut check for me. Between that and some politically unsavory things that happened afterwards, it's one of my lowest points of the entire year, and it was all spurred by the Cardinals giving away that game 2 and then losing the game 3, and now they're out for the season. What kind of off season here are we looking for the St. Louis Cardinals?
Well, that's a really big mystery that we're going to have to kind of slowly uncover, because nobody really knows how this offseason is going to go for anybody, because they lost essentially 2/3 of their season and 2/3 of their revenue throughout the course of the year. So we don't know exactly, how the Cardinals specifically or how the league as a whole generally is going to react to that. I wish I had a better answer. I mean, we know what the Cardinals need, right? I mean, they need more offense. We know that for a fact. It's a matter of where you're going to find it, how much is it going to cost. There are basically three ways that they can pursue those needs, right? I mean, they can spend money in free agency on high ticket items, which I don't know, it doesn't feel all that likely given the circumstances. They can pursue the trade market and continue to trade from their young pitching depth to fill needs that they have, or they can kind of go the route of like the Tampa Bay Rays, where they found a bunch of complementary offensive pieces that fit together, some platoon splits, righties and lefties that can share a job and obviously be used kind of according to the matchups. There are a lot of ways it could go. The first thing we have, what's going to happen, in 2021? Will they have fans in the stands? They'll probably play the whole season, but will there be any interruptions? I think you're going to see a very cautious offseason from a lot of teams, and I think the Cardinals probably would fall into that.
With all of the unknowns, Kevin Wheeler, from the clubs themselves, have we heard from any of the big players, specifically Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright, what their intentions are or what their desires are?
Not yet. I mean, we know that Yadi has said on the record that he wants to play. Order of business will be for the team and Yachty to sit down and figure out what that looks like. You know, what is it? What's the financial cost? You know, Yachty made $20 million in 2020. Well, that was what it would have been had it not been cut back by COVID, right? I mean, they got paid on a prorated basis. But I mean, his salary was $20 million the last couple of years. You know, is he willing to play for less than that? You know, if he's not, does that fit into the Cardinals' plan? And then what does his agent tell him about what he could get in the open market? I mean, it's, you know, so we don't know yet. My leaning is that Yachty will be back. I just feel like there's an attachment there from the manager to the teammates to the front office. He's going to be a hard guy to replace. And I think Wainwright will be back if Wainwright wants to continue pitching.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys caught it earlier this week, but he was doing television for Fox during the Marlins-Braves game 1. And he made the joke to the guys when they asked him about next year. He said, well, I'll tell you this, guys. I'll either be pitching or I'll be doing this. So he didn't really answer the question, but at the very least, he had a funny way of kind of saying, still making up my mind.
Yeah. And St. Louis is very excited to hear what they decide. But you touched on something a little bit earlier here in this discussion, which is they need more offense. I mean, boy, has it been the past few off seasons have been quite a letdown. Aside from signing Paul Goldschmidt a few years ago, we've been hard pressed to make any drastic moves from a bat standpoint. I'm curious who's on the market right now that might be the go-to. We've had some huge names shifting around in the off seasons in the past few years. Who are we looking at this year that might set the tone of where this market heads? Is he there? Did we lose him?
He's there.
Let's put him on hold. Let's see if we can get a better connection for him here real quick, because I am really curious about that. I mean, when I take in sports Twitter, which is where I get most of my sports stuff because I don't sit and watch ESPN anymore. It's pretty insufferable. You know, Ryan, like the gross disappointment that St. Louis Cardinals fans have had in the offseason. I mean, that's relatable, right?
Yeah. This offseason is so tricky. Not this coming one, but the last one, because
it was very long.
It was long. It was long.
And it was perpetual.
We didn't know what was coming ahead of time. So anything that happened had already happened by the time COVID hit. So it was tricky because you're watching things play out, but they're playing out in slow motion. And then you don't really know how they played out this season because it was so strange.
Don't you want to see the car? I mean, like, I feel like, what do I care? It's not my money.
Yeah.
But don't you want to see them just go big for once? Like we keep putting our Cardinal loving butts in the seats. You want to see something sizable take place here. All right,
as long as we can put those butts in the seats again.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get him back here on. Sorry, Kevin, we lost you there for a second. I was asking about the trade market and what kind of names might be out there if the Cardinals, wanted to go out and actually spend some money for once. Who's out there that's got a great bat worth spending that money on?
There are a couple of guys. If you want to go the really big ticket item, George Springer from the Astros is a free agent. He's 31 years old. He's a legitimate 30, 35 home run a year guy. He can play all three outfield spots, so he's versatile defensively. The question there is, how big do you really want to go? I mean, and also it's partly the market too, right? Is there enough demand to drive his salary up? Because he's probably looking at something in the $30 million a year range. Mm-hmm. And keeping in mind that he's already 31 years old, the question then becomes about the term, right? How many years is he going to get, as opposed to just what the annual average salary is going to be? So if you really want to swim in the deep waters, he fits, right? I mean, you could use an outfielder. He can play all three spots, so that kind of gives you some flexibility. And he's certainly the kind of bat you want, but I wouldn't expect that kind of spending. Another option would be DJ LeMahieu, who's a free agent from the Yankees. He plays everywhere in the infield, so you've got flexibility. You could stick him at third. He can play second. He can play first. And he's also been an MVP candidate the last 2 years and has won batting titles in both the American League and the National League. So, again, a guy that's versatile and could help you also get other guys in the lineup. But, again, I don't know that he's even going to get out of New York. I feel like the Yankees are probably going to lock him up. And then you've got like a big step off. This is not a great free agent year. There's a couple of guys that I just mentioned, and then after that, it drops off a good bit. I'm particularly fond of Astros left fielder Michael Brantley. He's a really good hitter, but he's also, I think, 34 years old, and I don't know what he's going to command, but he's probably more in the Dexter Fowler salary range than in the $25 to $30 million range. So maybe there's a fit there, but it's going to be tough. I mean, if these free agents end up re-signing with their own teams, it's a really thin marketplace this year. Not a lot of options to build up the middle of your order.
Real quick before we let you go, Kevin, I wanted to talk about the NHL season that's upcoming. We're now taking a break from that as the Stanley Cup Finals have completed. What's the NHL season look like coming the next season, and how are the Blues shaping up to compete in it?
I mean, they should be competitive again. I mean, we still have to figure out whether or not they're going to lose Alex Pietrangelo, and if he ends up leaving in free agency, that's going to considerably weaken the team. It won't put them out of contention. I mean, they'll still be, a likely playoff team and so a team that could get hot and put together a streak. But I mean, if they lose a player that plays 30 minutes a game and plays on, the power play and on the penalty kill and matches up against the other team's top unit, I mean, that's not going to be an easy thing to overcome, especially in the short term. So, I mean, they'll be good. It's just a matter of whether or not they're elite like they've been in recent years. And as far as the scheduling goes, I mean, they're planning on starting now just at the beginning of January. So normally we'd be talking about the season starting now. So we're clearly in a place of strange things happening in the NHL. But it sounds like they're at least moving in the direction of starting up in January and probably getting in a full season, if not full, very close to it.
Wow. Well, I'm ready for some more sports here in St. Louis for sure. Kevin Wheeler, we are very grateful that you are a part of the NFM family full time now, and we look forward to having you back each Thursday as we have been. Good to talk to you again.
You got it. Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll talk to you again soon. Let's take a quick break. We can wrap this up here in just a minute before we hand it over to the DGS. Stick around. We are chatting live on our Facebook Live and also on the Annie Fry YouTube Live. We'll be back in just a minute with more of the Annie Fry Show before we hand it off to the Dave Glover Show. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for free HVAC estimates, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Hello, fashion-conscious home lovers. Let's transform your lovely home's sense of fashion with the most beautifully current and stylish chic designer window treatments. Just contact Michael for an in-home visit at proctordrapery.com. 7 days. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
Proctor Drapery, the best in town. No finer window fashion can be found. Call for an appointment at your home. Spell Proctor like doctor.
Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the bagel loan, now the Bank Buster loan as well. Stewie has what you need to get your home refinanced. Or if you're looking to make a purchase, I know there's so much movement right now in the real estate market. Make sure that you get that home purchase mortgage through Stewart's American Mortgage. When you use the bagel loan, you're not going to pay a stack of fees that other lenders are going to charge you for. It doesn't exist in the bagel loan. He doesn't tuck them away. They're not hidden. It's not a magic trick. He doesn't have them. That's the entire predicate of how Stewie set up his business. I have used the bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage, and I am grateful every month when I pay my mortgage that I did. You can lower your monthly payment. You can shave years off the term of your loan, and you can do it using Stewart's American Mortgage and calling him at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Call him, text him, mention my name. Just say, Annie said something about a bagel loan. How can you help me? And he will get you started. He is so good at what he does, and you're going to speak with him and work with him, not a slew of different people out there who are going to pass you from person to person. You're going to work with Stewie, and you're going to be glad you did. NMLS number 226715.
If you are looking for a home warranty, please check out my friends at Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. You know, that maintenance part of their title is extremely important. Most home warranty companies out there want to deny your claim due to lack of maintenance. They claim you haven't been taking care of your equipment over time, so they don't have to help you out. Well, at Upkeep, they completely eliminate that worry by sending their own technicians out to your home 4 times a year to do the general maintenance for you. And if you ever need service done, they will either repair or replace your equipment, and that work is also being done by an Upkeep employee. It's not a third-party contractor trying to upsell you. Their plans are extremely affordable. You can even divide your payments up over the 12 months of the year, and when you use code DGS, you get $100 off your service. To check out all of their different home warranty plans, go to their website, upkeepstl.com. That's upkeepstl.com.
Stop anxiety with hypnosis?
That's right. I'm Mark Patrick, been called America's hypnotist. You know, millions suffer from unwanted anxiety, anxious feelings for no reason, or even panic attacks. I can help. Attend my live online End Anxiety with Hypnosis seminar from the comforts of your own home. Look, I know you've tried everything under the sun, alcohol, pills, programs, and nothing has worked to manage your anxiety. My program is designed to work. My seminar is designed to eliminate unwanted anxiety, stress, negative thinking, increase your energy, and improve your sleep. So join the over 50,000 that attend my programs every year. End Anxiety Seminar, only $49.99, 100% guaranteed. That's right. End your struggles with anxiety or get your money back.
Plain and simple. Join Mark Patrick's anxiety seminar and eliminate unwanted anxiety, stress, negative thinking, even panic attacks. Guaranteed or your money back. The live online seminar will be October 10th for the St. Louis area. You can sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com. Free yourself from the pain and suffering of anxiety. markpatrickseminars.com.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you have heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple on the station as the financial expert for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend on 97.1 FM Talk, and in case you miss any of those shows, on his podcast on radio.com. That's radio.com, and search Safe Money 97.1. So call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
The Dave Glover Show.
I think we're as weak as we've ever been. If I were Russia or China or Iran, North Korea, I'd be saying, guys, stay quiet. They could be done in 5 years.
Weekdays at 3 on 97.1 FM Talk.
You got a smile so bright. You know you could have been a candle. I'm holding you so tight. You know you could have been a handle. The way you swept me off my feet. You know you could have been a proof. And baby, it sounds so sweet. You know you could have been some perfume. Well, you could have been anything that you wanted to. I can tell you.
So if you've seen the video of the bear on my Cassens Chrysler Pacifica, it's very funny because I've been saying the word bear a lot. And I don't know if I typed it into Facebook or something. Yeah, maybe when I put it up there. But I'm getting stories in my Google stories about bears now.
It's weird.
Is that
Hey,
just
Fry
real-
must love bears. Look at poor bears.
I don't need to know about bears. Wide-bodied 747 crown Alaska's fattest bear.
Weird.
From Reuters, yes, one day ago.
You don't like this bear. It's real
I don't need to know that. How does that become useful to me?
Wow, that is a fat bear.
So what's new in
talk about
bears?
this with my friends.
We should have a segment where I just talk about the latest in bears.
That
is wild.
And bears' weights.
It's ridiculous. I mean, like it's like there was a screw up in the algorithm or something. It's like, ooh, here's the person who really needs to know information about the latest in bears. Let's give her everything we got. Oh my gosh.
I love the idea that the algorithm is like, oh my gosh, she just typed in bears.
We have a bear enthusiast. Let's give her everything we have.
We've been waiting.
Take her to the bear section. Don's going to love this.
Here's a story about badgers. Like, it's really overestimating my interest in wildlife. It's really not my thing.
It's too much.
I don't really need to know about badgers. I don't know anything about them, but there's a reason for that. I don't care.
Sean, this lady loves bears. Do you think we could get her in the badger section too? There might be some bleed over there.
Let's give her a story. Let's give her the story.
Let's just try it.
The Maid of the Mist. What is this? I don't even understand.
Is it on Twitter?
No, it's on my Google Stories. I go to scroll through my Google Stories because it's such a conglomeration of a whole bunch of things that I'm apparently interested in. And it's like, what can we talk about for the last segment that isn't, who won Kamala or Harris? Nobody even cares, because since Kamala and Harris had their debate, President Trump said he's not doing a virtual debate. He's going to do a rally instead. Biden said he was going to delay the debate. We've talked to Dinesh D'Souza, Tyrus, George Papadopoulos, and Kevin Wheeler, and now Bears. Like, I'm like, what could we talk about that would be new and exciting and interesting? Let's talk about Bears. I don't understand it.
Yeah, but then we took a hard right turn into Badgers, and I just lost it. I
wasn't even over the Bears yet.
I wasn't either.
I wasn't ready for Badgers.
I'm not even into Bears. That's the weird thing.
But
You're
now
making
could
me
I
into
be?
Bears.
Bears were so 5 minutes ago. No, nay, 3 minutes ago.
I've got two screens in front of me listening to me talk about Bears now, and now all I'm going to get's Bear videos.
The more we talk about it right now, everybody who's listening, your phones are listening to you too. If you start seeing bears, polar bears, koala bears, panda bears, black bears, Cassens Chrysler Pacifica bears, I want to know if you start seeing bear stories.
Let us know.
Speaking of bear, Katie is really excited that celebrities are now bare butt naked telling you that you need to vote.
That's all she talks about.
It is.
I know. She's obsessed with it. She's like, Annie, do you think that the Annie Fry Show could do a video like this? And I'm like, Katie, we have standards and values here. Let's make Ryan standards.
Just look up my past.
That is exactly it, though, right? We have standards, and we thought that we had standards in society. And now people are doing the craziest, stupidest crap. And I know they're getting paid to do it. I know they are. But what in the marketing team's right mind made them come together and say, we've run out of ideas. Let's get a couple celebrities. Let's pay them a fee. Let's get a couple celebrities on, and we can do some kind of Zoom chat meeting where they're all naked and they're talking about bear ballots.
Bear ballots. I thought it was where the Bears were going to vote for.
It
bear
is.
butt naked ballots.
Yes.
Wait, they're called bear ballots? I thought they were called naked ballots.
It's naked ballots.
Okay.
So celebrities including
Ryan's like, I completely don't understand.
I don't understand bear.
We're trying to put bear into never mind, Ryan. Okay,
Are
so
they
it
wearing
says
furs?
In Kamala's words, really nice segue.
Really nice segue. Celebrities including Sarah Silverman, are we surprised? Chelsea Handler, again, not shocking, and Chris Rock,
Amy
I don't get
Schumer.
that, are stripping down to bring attention to naked ballots and encourage voters to vote by mail. And instructions, how do we vote by mail? Stupidest thing I've ever heard. And if you watch the video, it's about 2 minutes long. All it is are these naked celebrities telling you how to
What if
fill
they
out a
were
ballot.
naked celebrities that you liked? Would that make a difference?
I would hate it. It's stupid. It's so dumb. And they think, as you just said, Annie, they think we're that dumb.
What if they were naked strangers and it wasn't a video and it was your front yard? Would that and they're still telling you to vote though.
It changes everything. That changes
That would
everything.
be entirely better.
I also
You
don't
could take
know
care of the problem yourself then.
who these celebrities think that they are. Like, do you really think that what you say right now in the middle of a pandemic really matters?
They are panickingly irrelevant at this point in time. There has been nothing more aggressively clear than how useless celebrity is when it comes to things that matter. You were there to entertain us. You were there to make us laugh, cry, feel emotion, to tell us stories. And that is valuable. That is real, tangibly valuable, but it has a limit. And you taking off your clothes as if it's like, what can we do to make these people vote?
Yeah, exactly.
I got an idea. Let's get naked. That'll do the trick. Good grief. Can you please give us just a little more credit? My heavens. I do not need to see or to be threatened with Borat being naked.
Please no.
And what makes you think, like, this is what blows my mind. Everyone's like, you need to vote. Don't you get, like, when you hear people like that tell you that you need to vote, have a plan. When they tell you that you need to vote, don't you just assume that they just left off the part for Biden, Harris? Like, is anybody out there saying, you need to get out and vote? You need to make a plan. We can't let this one down. Like, do you get the vibe that any of those people are going to go vote for Trump? Any of them?
No.
No. I don't think they got paid either, Katie. I think these are hard left people trying to drive turnout.
I guess I was just hoping that they got paid. I guess that's just like me.
I don't even think that they care about the election as much as they care about their own selfish relevance.
Yeah.
Like the idea. I mean, Sarah Silverman is in this video topless, holding her chest because she likes Sarah Silverman, not because she likes Joe Biden. This is a self-serving, narcissistic activity that people who cannot handle the fact that the spotlight isn't constantly on them, because there is no spotlight. And you know what? The Democrats turn the freaking spotlights off. It's on your party. You want to get back to work in California? Knock on Gavin Newsom's door. He's the one who's shutting everything down. Again, I reiterate, all you have to do, look at Bob Iger. Bob Iger, who used to run the Disney company, is still on some board of directors or whatever, something, was on Gavin Newsom's task force to get the state back open up again. He won't do it. Newsom won't open California, and it is killing jobs. It's killing people's livelihoods, and it's taking away the personal responsibility and choice of people in the state of California to decide, you know what, I want to spend my afternoon at Disneyland, and I might pay an exorbitant amount to do it, but gosh darn it, I earn my money, and I want to spend it there, and I'm a healthy person, and it is worth the risk to me. And everybody who goes back to work, they have a choice as to whether or not they go back to work. They open back up. They do have a choice to say, if I don't feel safe doing it, I don't have to work there. But Disney does not have the ability to continue to pay these people and pay their benefits in perpetuity. Money doesn't grow on trees. It grows in your pocket when you work for it. And Gavin Newsom in the state of California is disallowing people to do that. And then these moron celebrities are out there trying to suggest that if you go the way of Biden-Harris, that we're going to have a better outcome in the future. Biden wants to shut everything down. And then he wants to tax you into oblivion, which he said confidently in the past that he wants to repeal the tax cuts that President Trump put together, which you and I have both benefited from. He wants to take money out of your pocket to provide you some sort of security that is not going to cost you your taxpayer dollars. It's going to cost you your freedom. And you know that, and I know that, and I feel like everybody knows that. How in the world is Joe Biden going to win this election? Who's voting for this guy? What idiots are looking at the choice that is in front of them going, yeah, I think Joe Biden's our guy.
Sarah Silverman.
I know, and her boobs. I can't handle it. There are 3 boobs in that picture. Let me put it that way.
There's so many boobs.
Just like Total Recall. Have you ever seen? Do you think there's
I don't have
anybody
enough
out there?
oxygen here. I need more oxygen.
Do you think there's anybody out there who didn't know there was an election coming, and then saw this video and was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to vote because
they're taking this
Josh
really
Gad
seriously."
took his shirt off."
Right?
Olaf, come on.
And I mean, one of them,
I do not want that warm hug.
It says, if they say to use a black pen, please use a black pen. If it says read the instructions inside, please read the instructions inside. That's the direction that these celebrities are telling us. I can't make it up.
I can't. What happens next? We still have 27 days left into the election. These people are going to do more naked things.
They're desperate.
Ryan's going to be in your yard with a Trump sign and only a Trump sign.
No, if I get naked, I'm in your yard. I'm going to hold a Biden sign because I'm going to trick you.
Much better.
Okay.
Much better idea. Actually, I think there's some money in the Andy Fry Show marketing budget to make that happen. And that marketing budget is like whatever cash is in my checkbook.
Ooh, yeah, you know how I like money.
Now. I've got $3 for a naked Ryan Wiggins in your yard holding.
Dang, you cheap, right?
You're holding a Biden sign. That's got to happen. Now we got to take a picture. Now it has to
no
happen.
pictures, please. I'll do it, but no pictures. Everybody's gonna leave
What's
their
the
phones
point
out.
of doing it if we can't show the world? Just ask celebrities. You're a celebrity now.
That's
It's
true.
a local grassroots campaign. Gonna have
Okay.
you out there holding a vote for JB Pritzker's progressive income tax, and here's my sign, very purposely placed there around the waist region. Oh my gosh. I'll be right back. We're going to go do this right now. Turning over to the Dave Glover Show, where things are going to be taken much more seriously. Stick around. We'll be back tomorrow.